Good morning, it's Saturday. We're now in the usual location. It's the Saturday morning Monster Chop Let's Play / podcast. This one will just be podcast, probably no Let's Play. Of May 22nd, 2021. Uploaded on the 29th, of course. But, I'm currently packed into a parking lot with a bunch of other people looking to get their vaccination for the COVID-19 virus this morning. Pull you guys up on the ledge. I have no idea if this is good audio or not. It's not really my problem. Yeah, I'm currently packed in with probably, I could guess there's at least 500 to 1,000 other people, all looking to get a stab in the arm with some liquid, you know? And we're all, nearly bumper to bumper in this parking lot waiting for 12 o'clock. It's currently 9:39 currently. And we're gonna wait for a bit until they eventually let me go. Now what I'm hoping is I didn't get fucked over, because if I came here too late and I might not even get one, Who knows how many shots they have. But hopefully, fingers crossed, I get my Fauci ouchie. I think in my current location, I will get the Pfizer, Sounds so German with the PF. The Pfizer. My roommates told me to take a book. I'm a psychopath, so I'll just talk to myself for, 2 hours or 20 minutes, or I'd just fall asleep in my car. I don't think I'm going to do the latter. Currently passing is a train that was passing 5 minutes before I've started, but, it's just ending here. I can see it just coming along. You might be able to hear it, you might not. Who knows if it's loud enough. From this seat, actually, currently there's nobody to my left. Everyone's to my right. Not enough people have come into my left, but I think they will shortly appear. They have spots for what appears to be maybe another 300 cars, bare minimum, in this large parking lot. I can see downtown from here. I can see the stadium in my city and everything. And there goes the train. Thank God for these poor souls that have to stand here for 4 hours in the morning, but then again, they probably also get paid $22 an hour, so it's not bad. They gotta stand here for 4 hours and be like, sit here, shut up, turn your car off, But you gotta do your part. You gotta do your part. You can only do so much when you have to do your part. You gotta stay inside during the pandemic and everything, so everything's gotta go back to normal. Everybody's gotta get the freaking vaccine, so let's just hope that everyone does. Some of the time near this location, you'll have near 5 o'clock when people are leaving work, you'll see people outside of the vaccination clinic with anti-vax signs, which is kind of yikes. It's kind of yikes for me, dude. They do their 30 minutes of research on Google, and they're like, it's fake. It's all fake. It's all bullshit. Gotta get my Bill Gates 5G microchip. Yeah. Who knows, though? Who knows if it actually does anything? I'm not a fucking scientist. It could do absolutely nothing, and I could just be getting a bit of water with sugar. Or I could be getting some dead virus that'll, save me if I get it, and save other people. I don't know. I haven't done research in viruses and vaccines for, 20 years of my life to do a PhD over it or whatever. Like most of these top scientists have that are saying stuff about it, how, hey, it's real, It's kind of weird, all the people that say, the vaccines are fucked up. It's like, are those the same people that think the virus don't exist? Or are those different people? Because there are people that think the virus don't exist, right? They're like, it's all a hoax. Virus doesn't exist. It's like, well, what's killing people then? Is it just your local flu that you think is killing people? Do you not believe the local flu is real either? No, what's really weird is I'm going to be sitting in here alone in a parking lot in my car with cars around me, and I'm basically talking to myself. which I would be doing whether or not there were 100 other people around me, but now there's a bunch of people to, stare at me. But thankfully, the guy to my left is kind of like just behind me, so he can't really see me. But well, he probably can see me, but just based on like the door, it's like blocking my vision of him, which is perfect. And the people to my right, there's two people in the car, so I don't really care. But we seem to be getting more and more little fish packed into this tin container. I'm gonna make that sardine analogy like 100 times, because if I was claustrophobic, I'd be like extremely claustrophobic here. It's been like 5 minutes, and I feel like I've talked about everything that I'm gonna talk about so far. You know? What's it like outside? It's overcast. A nice big overcast on a Saturday morning. I guess it is spring in Canada, so what else are you gonna do? You know? It is spring in Canada. I have no idea if this is actually just gonna chew through my battery or not. I mean, I've gotten 6 minutes in, it's even 1%. That's not bad. You know? I probably just ruined the audio there by like picking you up and then putting you down. I also have no idea if I'm even like possibly possibly able to be heard. Who knows, dude? Who knows? Maybe I'll have to like boost the audio a fuck ton. You know, I guess maybe I could check right now, you know. I can just pick you up and then say, put you here. And then talk about like, hey, people in Sardines. I did do an audio check before this because I'm a fucking amateur, you know. But, I mean, it seems like it's picking me up. So, I guess I can't really complain. Whoa, remember the old, like, the old thing where you try and make a shape with the sound waves on an audio recording, you know? Most people just go for the penis. That's a classic, you know. But a nice overcast and a spring day in Saskatchewan. It is Saturday morning though, so I don't know what else you would expect. Bright sky? No. Very rare is that to actually happen. But it's not bad out. I mean, it's a little chilly. It's like 3 degrees Celsius. Don't ask me to convert it to Fahrenheit because I don't really know the amount. Wait, isn't it times 9/5 minus 32 or plus 32? I think it's times 9/5 plus 32. So if you take minus 3, that's like, or sorry, plus 3, that's 27 divided by 5. You get like roughly like 5 and a bit. It's like 37 degrees or something in Fahrenheit. It's close to 0. It's basically like, it'll be a nice hoodie weather to go out for a walk in. But it was almost like misty this morning. Like I guess it did rain last night. The parking lot's all wet here. But it's been raining the past couple days, which is nice because we were quite dry. I'm gonna start sounding like a farmer. I'm gonna talk about the weather. Am I 90? Holy shit. But I don't know. Water's nice. Nice trees I can look at. Some nice orange pine cones. Pine cones? Pylons. Jesus Christ, I'm delusional already. It's been like 10 minutes. But, I don't know. There's not much to even talk about in this area. Like, this area, what can I talk about? I can see downtown. I'm sitting in a parking lot. It's overcast. I can't really describe much about what's around me. Although, spring is I've always disliked spring the most, honestly. Out of all the seasons, it's always been like spring. I've been like, yeah, you know? Because it's that awkward moment between winter where it's like, fuck, is it cold? And then spring where it's like, alright, it could easily reach plus 30. You know, like you could get from like start of the season minus 40 to end of the season plus 35. And it's crazy, dude. You never know what you're into for spring in Canada. It's insane. But yeah, I've always disliked spring because of my favorite season You know, I'm not one to pick favorites, but there's only 4 options, so I do have a favorite, and it's autumn or fall. You know, whatever you want to call it. But I don't know. I've always liked you know, the nice little chilly weather. It very rarely is like, it doesn't rain very often in fall from where I'm from. And then, and if it does, it rains a bit and then it's gone for a week at least, you know, or it's just snow, you know. There's no bullshit rain in fall for the most part. But yeah, I've always liked the, you know, red and orange leaves and nice big trees finally like gasping for air at the end of the season, you know. I don't know, it always seemed interesting. You know, a nice fall. But winter is definitely like the second. You know, I love the snow. People always bitch about the snow where I'm from. They're like, yeah, there's too much snow, or yeah, it's too cold. It's like, for fuck's sakes, you're living in Canada, bud. Like, fucking figure it out. You're gonna be in snow. I don't know what else you expected. Like, snow is guaranteed. I don't remember the last time I had a brown Christmas. It's not possible. I think that's why I won't leave Canada. If I had a brown Christmas, it'd just be weird. Honestly, it would be weird. If it doesn't snow on Christmas, it's not Christmas. That's all I'm saying. If the least isn't snow on the ground, it's not Christmas. So, some years you don't get snow because that's just weather. But there's nothing better than waking up Christmas morning and then like seeing it snowing, like going out sledding with your cousins or whatever, and then going back inside and getting hot chocolate. Oh, that's a Canadian kid classic, you know. Going out for a prepubescent rip, you know. Fuck, but fucking nothing better. No, I'm truly gonna sound Canadian. But yeah, winter's pretty good, you know. The only part I don't like about winter is the ice on the roads. That's kind of shitty, you know. You try and stop at an intersection, you just go right through. That's why, like, even if you have green light in Canada, it's like, fuck, bud, look both ways. You could have a semi who's not stopping, just coming at you, doing T-bone you. You're done. You're done at that point. You know, there's no recovering from that. Your car's totaled, and your body's most likely totaled if you're getting T-boned by a semi who's sliding on ice. That's just gonna happen. But make sure to hydrate. Thank God I brought water. But yeah, winter's definitely the second best. I've always liked winter. I've always liked snow too. People always bitch about the snow. Like, yeah, I don't like it. I like driving and shoveling it. And it's like, look at it. Dude, it looks pretty as hell though. Come on. Come on. You know? And then summer, you know, nice hot summer is definitely third. You know? I think I like all the seasons, except spring. It's really the 2 cents to pull away, you know. It's like summer, you have a nice warm weather, you know, nice beach weather, you know. You get those nice like days where you can go grill up a steak on the deck. Oh fuck, bud, you know. You get some T-bones and you get some pals over. You eat some steaks and you go out for a fucking rip. Oh, fuck, bud, nothing better in Canada. And then going out for a rip on the sleds, you know? Fuck. No, I'm truly gonna sound Canadian. My one American listener will be like, what the fuck is this guy talking about? What the fuck is he talking about? But, yeah, summer's pretty nice. Nice hot weather, you know? I'm, as you can tell from the thumbnail, for the last episode, I'm basically Slenderman IRL. I'm a like 6 foot skinny white dude, you know. I'm basically like a walking, you know, light post, like tiny light post. Train's back, this time coming from the west instead of going west, and it's looking busy. Got some Canadian Tire crates on it. You know, it's got those like double crates, you know, instead of like the big ones, you know. But nice big shipment on the Canadian National Railway. you know? At least I assume this is what this hooked up to. I mean, it goes through the center of the city, so it's gotta be. I don't know what other railway would be. But, yeah, I got some, quite a few Canadian Tire crates. I don't know if those are just, like, if that, like, there's no way that's all Canadian Tire, like, products. Those are probably just their crates, and then they put in whatever's necessary and reuse the crates, but, it's definitely interesting. I mean, I never knew how they kept those secure. Because you don't really, like, strap them down. I'm guessing they have, like, a locking mechanism in the bottom for the crates, so they could actually, like, attach them to the cart, and then attach another one on top, because these are all, like, doubled up. You know, they're like what would they be, like 8 feet tall, maybe not even, maybe somewhere between 6 and 8 feet. It's hard to tell because it's moving, and it's on a railway, and I'm not really level with it. I'm not standing anywhere near it, so. But yeah, it's always kind of weird, those little crates. But back to summer. Yeah, summer's nice. Nice hot days, nice warm days. Get a nice tan that I wouldn't get, you know, because I'm I'm Gollum essentially. You know, I could do an amazing Gollum cosplay. I'm already balding, so I just like grow out my hair, and by the time it's grown out enough, I've already molded enough that I have like the same hair as Gollum, and then I'm already pale enough. I just have to get like British teeth, and then I have my perfect Gollum cosplay. Honest to God, you know. I might be a little tall, but other than that, it's essentially done. You know, it's essentially done. But yeah, summer's pretty nice. I just hate spring. I don't know why. I don't know why I hate spring. It's never like, it's like this awkward point where it's like fucking always cold and wet, or it's like damn fucking hot. Is you're like, oh, it's like -3 in the morning, and I'm freezing my ass off because I thought it would be nice because it's spring. Oh, and I feel wet. It's damp in the air. Great, yeah, amazing. And then you prepare for that in the morning, and then you get to the afternoon after like eating lunch, and you like walk outside, and it's like +40, and you're like, where the fuck did this come from? It's like crazy, dude. It's crazy. But yeah, definitely in order of like best to worst. And if you disagree with me, you're just wrong. Your opinion's wrong. I don't know what else to tell you. But yeah, definitely fall or autumn, and then winter, summer, spring. Easily the order of best seasons to worst seasons. Hands down. I will double down, and I'll ride and die this fucking on this boat. You know, where does the ride or die saying come from? I have no idea. Are you riding a car? What are you riding that you would die before you would stop riding? I never knew where that came from. I don't know. I feel like that's also like a classic Canadian thing to do. Is like, I don't remember the last time I saw a rail car, you know, with stuff in it that wasn't graffitied. It's like every single one has graffiti on it. It's crazy. But, you know, some better than others, of course. Some of them are just like letters for whatever name the artist has. But I always like those like nice big murals on train cars and everything. Seems like we've gotten nearly, since we started, three more lines of at least, I don't know, 15 cars to my left, each with well, almost 2 people in each. You know, a lot of them, at least from what I can tell, maybe it's just the people, but I don't know. I feel like either I'm seeing like a solo dude, or there's 2 girls that are together. It's like, that's all I see. I don't know if it's just weird. There's a couple of man and a woman there, and I'm pretty sure there's a man, woman, and child ahead of me in this truck. But it was kind of It's kind of weird, you know? You don't see like two dudes sitting in a car 6 feet apart because they don't want to get COVID, looking for a vaccine, you know? But I was excited to play Minecraft this morning. I remembered I had to get the vaccine, so we will probably resume regularly scheduled activities next week. The only thing is I'm hoping that they're not letting more people into this line than they have vaccines. Because if they have, like, let's say 2,000 vaccines, and then they have, 2,500 people waiting in line, you just wasted, like, 3 hours of 500 people's lives. That's horrible. That's absolutely horrible. But, we are 21 minutes in. It is 10:03. Still another... They open at 12 for the vaccine, but of course you gotta get here early. If you get here at 12, you're not getting shit, is really what's gonna happen. But, yeah, I hope they don't, American Airlines us, where they're like, oh, we don't have shit for you, bud. Fucking go home, You sit in line for 2 hours, and you get to the front, and they're like, fuck off, bud. Fucking come back tomorrow. Get fucked again. Get here at 7 o'clock, or get fucked, Just some, like, horrible shit, but hopefully, fingers crossed, they're not going to do that to anyone, and they're not going to do that to me, But, you can only hope. You can only hope. What else to talk about? I would talk about cars, but I don't know shit about cars. Like, I know, like, roughly how they work, you turn it on, you turn the key, you turn it on, it, takes the gas from the gas tank, puts it in the engine, the pistons go, then you can, hit the gas and you accelerate, or you hit the brake and you decelerate, but anything specific upon that, I have no clue. I have no clue. I know, like, these are all electronics here in the dashboard and the radio system, and they're all powered by battery. That battery gets charged by the wheels turning. That's powered by gas, but I have no idea how how any of the gas mechanics of it work in a car. Like, you gave me a car and you said something's wrong with it, I'd be like, fuck, but I have no clue. Take it to professional. Like, I ain't got any experience with cars for you. But, who knows, maybe one day. Maybe one day I'll tinker around in cars during my spare time. I hope the heat in my car actually stays, because I don't want to turn it on for a bit, just to warm myself up. But, even then, it's not horrible out. I could probably... You're not going to freeze to death in 3 degrees weather. It's not possible. You get very cold, but unless you're like, wearing wet clothes, you're not going to freeze to death. I remember Boy Scouts, yeah. There was one crazy thing, is I almost, when I was in Boy Scouts, I was in Boy Scouts from when I was, God, what age was I? I was like 5 until I was like 10. It taught me almost nothing, honestly. It teaches you not very much. I mean, I know how to start a fire, know how to make shelter and everything. If I'm ever in the woods without cell service, if I'm just going to recreate that, Hatchet book, which, if you don't know, is a book about a kid who's going to visit his dad in Canada, I believe. I believe he's American. And then they're flying like a little bush plane, just him and this pilot. And then of course the kid has no idea how to fly. He's like 13 years old. And then the pilot has a heart attack and go crashing into the forest. And he's got to survive for like weeks on end, and he eventually gets found and saved and whatever. But the reason it's called Hatchet is he's stuck in the forest, nothing but a hatchet, and he's got to survive for months. I think I might be able to do it, but I don't know. Especially in Canada, it'd be hard to find food. There's not just like, you don't just like go out into the prairies and you're like, oh, there's an apple tree. No, there's plains for miles, and not like flying a plane, there's like grasslands for miles and miles. The old joke in Saskatchewan is you can watch your dog run away for like 3 days because it's so flat, you know? Like most of the time, it's not that there's a hill that's blocking your view of like what's beyond the horizon. It's the curvature of the earth that blocks your view of what's beyond the horizon. Like a lot of the time, if you're driving these roads, it's so flat that you can almost see the next town's grain mill from the town you're currently in. There's no hills or anything that blocks it. The trees aren't tall enough to block it. You can just see the grain mill, 11 clicks away. And you're like, wow, is it freaking flat? But yeah, I don't think I'd be able to survive alone in a forest. I just run out of food, you know. But I think I could probably make a fire and everything, you know. Making a trap for small game like rabbits and stuff, I have no clue how to do that. I can maybe jerry rig something to maybe make it work, but I really have no clue. I really have no clue. I'll probably eat some berries that are like poisonous or something, die. But doesn't he eat turtle eggs in that book? I'm pretty sure he eats turtle eggs in that book. He like finds a turtle and it has eggs, and then he like cooks them over a fire to survive, and it's like kind of crazy. And then there was like a tornado or something. It was like, ugh. It's kind of like a book that's kind of all over the place. But then again, I don't read, so I haven't read a book since probably my first year of uni, when I was forced to, and then even then I only read half of it, and was it Sparks Notes or whatever like online summary that I looked at to to just tell me the rest so I could just write the report, and then just like skim through the book to try and find random places where I could actually take information and quotes from to get me my like 80 on the paper and then be done. But that's kind of a shitty thing, is you could do that and your professor might be like, yeah, it's good, great. Here's your fucking, 65 or whatever the hell you want on the paper. You're passing grade. Get the hell out of my class, Or you could like actually put in a ton of effort and try and make the best paper of your goddamn life, and the professor would be like, it's not good enough, 52. You just like coin flip every single professor that you get. You have no idea if they're good or not. You can go and rate my prof, and it could have a good rating, it could have a bad rating. But if there's only one prof for the course, you're kind of fucked. You're just stuck with it, But what are you gonna do? What are you gonna do, I guess? But May 22nd. Gonna be the 29th the next time you hear me. Who knows what's gonna happen in a week? Israel and Palestine going crazy right now. They're bombing and stuff and shooting and sending missiles and drones to block the missiles. It's like crazy over there. And this stuff has been going on before I was even born. It's like, how do you even know how it's gonna end? You don't. They might just bomb all the land that's there, and then none of it will be even habitable to live on anyways in the end. It's up to God, like, a lot of the international community, essentially the West, doesn't try and get involved, because it's always a shit show when, like, a lot of the powers of the United Nations decide, oh, we're gonna try and, change something. Like, you'll have an issue in the Middle East, or hell, even Asia or somewhere else, and Britain will be like, stop that, and then they'll run in there and fuck things up for everyone involved, and then divide the land how they see fit and call it a day, But I don't think people should get involved in this. I don't know. I don't know enough about it, but I never like getting involved in other people's shit, I've always been like, keep to myself, don't fucking worry about it. Don't take sides, don't hedge bets, But a lot of the big countries, especially like Canada and the U.S., are like they're calling on Israel and Palestine to like, please stop the violence, and they're like, no, and then like Canada and the U.S. and Britain, like France and everyone's just like, oh well, we tried. It's like, what was the point of even doing that? It's like there's no consequences to their actions. They can go to war with each other, you know. Like currently, there's no consequences other than they're at war with another country. The United Nations isn't really stepping in to, force the hand of either country. But yeah, it's always a shit show. Always a shit show in the world at one point. But not much you're gonna be able to do to stop it. To stop it. Yeah. I don't know. I just hope to God everyone gets their, Fauci ouchie and we get this pandemic over with. I remember having that when I was a kid. It's gonna show my age. The H1N1 vaccine. I was getting it in school. I never really knew about it, but I remember I wasn't able to, go out and we would stay inside a lot of the time, similar to this. You didn't want to interact with very many people. But yeah, let's just hope everyone gets their vaccine like they did every other pandemic before that. And no, I always wanted to. I think it was. I don't remember what country it was. I don't remember if it was Thailand or Vietnam. It was one of the southeastern Asian countries that attempted herd immunity by just trying to vaccinate everyone they could to see if it would do anything. They like in Canada we were targeting our older residents, especially in the rural communities, because you have a ton of, especially in Canada, you have like these main cities, but you have a ton of farmland, and you have a ton of these smaller, really close-knit communities, and if one person gets it, basically everyone's got it at that point, and they were, they're trying to target all the older people, especially, and then work their way down. So I've been waiting. I don't remember when they started vaccinations. I think it was in January or February, and it's May now, and it's finally gone to my age group. But let's just hope that everyone at least gets their second as well, and we don't run out. Because I know there's been like, especially in certain areas, like I know in Ontario, they were saying, especially was it the premier? Was it Doug Ford? I don't remember the premier's name. Basically, like the senator, the Canadian senator, the premier. He basically said we don't want Moderna or any of these other vaccines that have low efficacy rate, but it's like efficacy rate is determined based on the trial that they do. So it's not just like growing potatoes in a lab and they say, oh, this seed worked better than this one, so this is the one to go with. You don't go with the other seed. It's like you're growing potatoes in the wild in multiple different, climates and soil types and rain levels. It's like you get shit rates where you're gonna get like, compared to the lab, you're gonna get potatoes that aren't gonna grow because you tried planting it in gravel, nothing's gonna happen. But you get those Moderna efficacy rates because of their trial. It was like something like 68% efficacy rate or like 70%, somewhere around there. It wasn't like 99 with the other ones, but it's like it was all based on the trial of normal people in their normal lives at the height of a spike in the cases. So it's like all these new cases just totally fucked over all the stats for this vaccine. And then they say, oh, we want the one where it was tested where nobody was even getting any cases. You know, we want the... It's like, the vaccines are basically all the same. You know, they're not much different from each other. They're what, like sugar water plus a dead virus? Or however they make it. You know? It's basically all going to be the same thing. Just take what you can get. And it'll help you, you know? Especially because, like, what was it? Nobody that had the vaccine that caught the virus actually was killed or in a hospital because of it. It was like a normal cold, which is perfect because it's like compared to like putting them in a hospital in like a ventilator, that's fucking horrific, you know? Of course you want them to like not catch it at all, but of the people, you know, you're gonna catch it at some point. There's if you're being an idiot, you know. But I don't know. It seems like those, especially like myself and a lot of people that I know, and they're like, do what the government says. Do what these professional scientists say. You know, of stay the fuck inside during the freaking pandemic, and you won't have to stay inside for longer. Like that's how New Zealand did it, right? They were all like, fuck, like just don't let anybody in, don't let anybody out. Everybody stay inside for a bit. And then all the cases disappeared. They were down to like one case. And then they're like, look, it fucking works. Don't be an idiot. You know? And then fucking North America and a lot of European states were like, it's bullshit. I want to get pizza with my friends. And it's like, you're a fucking idiot, bud. You're just a straight up fucking idiot. Like, you're just gonna waste the time and kill people because of your actions. You're not doing the right thing just because you want to like have a somewhat good experience with people that you know. Like just so stupid the fact that we've been in this for over a year, especially from when it started. It was like all the kids in uni were sent inside. You know, were sent home to work remotely for their classes, and then it's like that's happening for a reason because they don't want cases to spread, and people are like, let's still just go to bars, and they didn't close the bars down for like a month, and then they're like, oh fuck, we have cases, maybe we should close down the bars, and people were told, don't go to other fucking states, stay inside, don't fucking visit people. If you even have fucking symptoms, tell everyone that you've been near. People were like, oh, it's a cold. I didn't get the COVID-19, and then they don't do their fucking part, and everyone gets fucked over because of it, you know? And you get like a couple hundred cases a day per city in every city in Canada, and it's like, what are you doing? What are you doing? It's like now you're just wasting time. You're just wasting time is all that you're doing. And you're fucking killing people too. It's like, I don't think that goes through people's heads either. That like, when you decide to disobey the restrictions and go see people and possibly spread the virus, you're doing the opposite of your part. You're literally harming people. Possibly even killing them if it spreads good enough because of you. It's kind of crazy. It's kind of crazy. You know? But, what are you gonna do? What are you gonna do? You can only do your part. You can only tell other people to do their part. You can't force anyone to actually, stay inside unless you, like, arrest them and keep close watch on them. But it's like, goddamn, nobody should have to babysit you because you're a fucking idiot. It's just a mess. It's just a mess, dude. Been a year-long just calamity of idiots doing whatever they want and not understanding the impact of their decisions. It's kind of crazy, but at least we have modern medicine, because if we didn't, well, even more people would die, you know. least we can tell that, you know, people are dying because of it. It's not just like, no, they just dropped dead because, you know, whatever. Fuck if I know. Like, we have modern medicine to detect all of it, but I don't know. I don't know. What time are we at? What time are we at? Big old 10:23. Big old 10:23. Still an hour and 37 minutes before I think we'll even start moving. And, you know, they're going to start on my right, and people are getting up and moving and stretching and everything. Sitting in the car always reminds me of, especially in this weather, always reminds me of those rainy day camping when you're like, there's nothing to do. You know, you can't, you can stay at your campsite, but, you know, you can't go fishing because it's raining. You can't go, you know, tubing on the water with a boat or anything, which I haven't done since I was like 5. But you can't do that. You can't go canoeing or kayaking or anything, and then you can't really walk around because it's raining. But I guess you could go for a walk, but you could probably get your shoes wet and your clothes wet and everything, unless you got rain jacket and everything. But it always reminds me of this nice, like, damp weather. That's also horrible and I hate it at the same time. But yeah. What else is there even to talk about? Oh, I know. Like, I feel like, you know, I'm sitting in this parking lot and I can read down in front of me. You know, I see Ford, Hyundai. I have no idea what car that is. I really don't know. It's a CX-5AWD. I don't know what the badge is. I don't remember what that is. Somebody will tell me, oh, it's like, oh, some Asian brand. And then there's a Nissan, a Ram, Honda, Ford, a Kia. You know, people are always like shitting on other brands of cars, but it's like, it's just this evolved form of, you know, PS4 better than Xbox One. Or what was it? The classic one was PS3 versus Xbox 360. That was the, like, feud, you know? It's like, who gives a shit? 99% of it's the exact same. You have a controller, you're playing a game. Who cares? You know? Or, like, Android versus iPhone. It's like, who gives a shit? Just use what you want. Don't tell other people what they should use. Do whatever the fuck you want, you know? As long as you're not harming others, who cares? Who cares? I always found that crazy. How much people, like, tell other people that they shouldn't use a certain brand of something, you know? But it's kind of crazy. Kind of crazy. I guess now I'm looking at the stadium for, you know, the football stadium. I never really gave a shit about sports. I understand it all, but I don't know. I can never sit down and watch it, especially because they're like 3-hour games. I'm like, fuck. I'm so disinterested. You know, like a soccer match is 90 minutes, and then, you know, you get a football game and it's 4 quarters plus, you know, halftime or whatever. You're sitting there for 3 hours watching a football game. And then there's, you know, tennis. I don't know if I want to watch tennis. I know people that would watch tennis, and it's like, especially like some of the European Opens, you gotta get up at like 6 a.m. to watch them live, you know. My voice is gonna go all raspy on me here because I've been talking for 30 minutes straight in the morning, but yeah, 44 minutes straight. I've been just rambling on about God knows what, but I could never watch baseball. I tried once to watch a baseball game, but I feel like unless I'm in the stadium, I don't give a fuck about baseball. I don't give a fuck about any of the teams. You know, people were like repping the repping the Toronto Blue Jays. It's like, who cares? I don't care. I don't give a shit. You know, I feel like it's so boring. Throw the ball, either they hit it or they don't hit it. It goes so far, either it gets caught or it doesn't get caught, and then they try and run to the first base, and then first to second, second to third, third to home. I don't know. It always seemed weird to me, especially like if you get fucked over, where it's like, you know, you get the first or second, and then you'll already be on 2 outs, and then the person swinging will swing out, and you're just fucked. You know, you do your part, and you get fucked over too. But yeah, never really cared for baseball or softball or any of those bat hit ball things. But basketball too. Never really gave a shit about basketball. I know a lot of people are really, really into basketball, and you know, they'll bet, they'll watch all the games, they'll look at the stats and everything, they'll do fantasy leagues or whatever, and it's like crazy. It's like never really got into it myself, you know? And yeah, especially like the amount of people that you knew that didn't give a fuck about basketball until it was the Toronto Raptors that could win, and then they gave a fuck. It's like, what are you doing? It's like, it's not even like you're on the bandwagon, it's like you're on the game wagon. It's like you didn't give a fuck about basketball until it was your team that could win. Then you're like, oh shit, maybe we should care, you know? You ask them to name, 10 other teams in the league, they couldn't tell you shit. Well, I think the Red Sox are in basketball. It's like, fuck, what are you doing? You know? But I'm gonna be fucking hungry after this vaccine, and I hope to God I don't have the fucking reaction to it. And I pass out in my fucking car, just fucking head on the horn, just you know, the fucking parking lot freaking out, you know. But I really have no idea when, like, how it works. I know people told me, like, you go wait in line, and then they they get you to and then you get it, and then you wait 15 minutes, and then you leave, 15 minutes to make sure you don't have some horrible reaction to it. But yeah, it's gonna be. I don't know if they like come by here in our cars, and then they walk and they say, "What's your name? What's your health card?" Shit, and then here's the stab. All right, wait 15 minutes, leave. Or if I have to move my car to up to the station where they have all the stabs, and then they stab me there. I don't really know how that works. That's one thing I never asked people, was whether I stay here and then I leave, or if I stay here and then I go, and then I wait, then I leave. I don't really know how it works, but fuck it, just wing it. Just wing it. But kind of in this like weird part of town where I can see the hospital, I can see the rink that the hockey games are played at for the local kids, and then a stadium. I can see downtown. I can see all the big banks and all the big buildings, and then but I can also look to my right and past all these cars, all suburbs and stuff, and kind of crazy how it works. Kind of crazy how it works. The one thing I didn't do before I left though was take a fucking leak. Like if I get to like 11:30 and I gotta take a leak, oh, it's gonna be horrible. Or just walk out to the to the grass over there and take a leak. I'm gonna have like an entire goddamn audience. I'm gonna fucking get stage fright. Who knows though? Just have a strong bladder, forehead. Who knows? But that's one thing I don't mind about living in spring though, is scraping your car. You know, that's kind of shit part in winter is when you gotta scrape your car and it's like, ugh. You get you not only get the top snow layer, you get this ice stuck to your windshield. It's like, ugh. If you don't, remote start your car, you gotta go in there in the freezing cold and go open it and everything. But yeah, you get this horrible like layered shit too, where it's like it puts it down and then it freezes it and then it puts more snow down and then freezes into ice and then puts more snow down and you get like multiple layers of ice just like built up on your windshield and you're like, I gotta get to work in 30 minutes. It's a 20-minute drive and I'm gonna take 20 minutes just to scrape this ice off my windshield. It's horrible. But yeah, I never really liked that part of winter, I guess. Scraping's never really that fun. But I could probably take it out of my car, this scraper, as well as the plug-in. I got the little plug-in in case I was going somewhere. I had to plug in my car to make sure it doesn't, the battery doesn't die while I'm waiting there. But yeah. If you ever come to Saskatchewan, you gotta go on some of those little prairie trails. It's always nice. It's always nice. Even if you come to Canada, you gotta go to Banff or Lake Louise at some point and walk those trails. They're really nice. Those up in those. You got a nice range in Canada. Like you have like east and west coast as well as the north and then the central. You get those northern mountains up in the Yukon. I know my grandparents went there a couple years ago, and it's like super pretty. I always wanted to go on those walking trails before I eventually get old and crusty. You know, but we're probably close to 50 minutes, and there's now how many? I think last time there were 3 lines of cars, and they were just starting to fill up the 4th line of cars, and now there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. There's 8 lines of probably close to 15 cars next to me on my left, with each 1 to 2 to 3 people in them. I see one dude's taking a nap over to my left, and always just looking at all these people reminds me of the La La Land opening where they're going in between all the cars to look at what each person looks like and what they're listening to of music, and they break out into the big orchestral number. But not that bad of a movie. You should watch La La Land if you haven't. It's kind of interesting. It's like a musical love story, but I don't know. You get Ryan Gosling and Emma Stone, and even if you hate musicals, which I was never really into musicals, I didn't mind it. You get some famous actors, and you got a field day there. Damien Chazelle, he always somehow gets a big actor for his movies. Whiplash, you get that I forget the actor's name completely. Is it Miles Lewis? I think it's Miles something. I think it's Miles Lewis. But and then J.K. Simmons for that movie. You get 2 big actors for a small indie film. It's kind of crazy. And then he does that. He makes La La Land, which has Ryan Gosling and Emma Stone, and as well as J.K. Simmons too. He plays a little supporting part. He's not that big as Whiplash, but you get these big actors, and then you get and then you should watch First Man as well. It talks about Neil Armstrong, where again Ryan Gosling is playing Neil Armstrong, and I believe First Man and La La Land are both on Netflix. Whiplash was on Netflix, but it's an indie film, so it doesn't stay there for very long. It's kind of one of the shitty things about Netflix is you want to watch these movies, and then you see it's on there, and then you go back the next day, and it's like, oh, it's disappeared. gone forever, locked back into the Disney vault. And you're like, oh, great. But it's probably too expensive for, people to put it on Netflix. So, or for Netflix to do it. I don't remember. I'm pretty sure Netflix like pays them to do it, but at the same time, there's only so much profit you can get out of it before you're like, all right, we gotta, stop showing this because nobody's gonna make any money showing this movie. But I don't know if I might want to go to the theaters on the 28th because I want to watch A Quiet Place 2. I love Quiet Place 1. Fucking John Krasinski and Emily Blunt. And then fucking John Krasinski, I'm pretty sure he directed, wrote, and acted in it. I know he definitely, I don't know if he directed it, but I think he definitely had a part in the production. He definitely had a part in the writing and the producing of it. And then Emily Blunt did a great job. She played the motherly role perfectly. I never doubted for a second that, well, this person doesn't seem like a mother. You get those certain movies where you're like, I don't buy it. Whereas like this one, I was like, oh yeah, I'll buy it. Quiet Place was great, especially with the way they did the monsters. But Quiet Place 2, I think it was a good choice to go with a prequel because the Quiet Place starts. The spoilers, by the way. If you haven't watched it, I don't think it's on Netflix, but it's a great one to watch. I'll try and like not completely spoil it, but it's basically like these monsters that have come to Earth that are, well, they're essentially aliens, but they're really monsters that their only sense is sound. Essentially, they have extremely good hearing, but so you have to be super super quiet or else you'll get found and killed by these monsters. And then I saw like that they were making a second one, and I saw like the first 10 seconds of the trailer, and it was just like the mom in the car with their kids, and then it's just like mayhem ensues, and I was like, I'm gonna stop watching this trailer because it's gonna show shit that I'm gonna have no idea what's happening, and but I don't know, the first one opened up great. It told the story quite well. It had a lot of nice suspenseful parts to it. And I'm excited for the second one, but it's only supposed to show on the 28th in theaters, only on the 28th. And I don't know if it's going to show in my area, especially because you live in Canada and you want to watch some films, and they're like, no, we ain't showing that. You can watch the 7th Transformer movies, but the movie you want to actually watch, we ain't showing that. But yeah, the second one looks not that bad. It looks like it could be a good movie, and I'm excited to watch it. I'm excited to watch it. I watched Ray the other day, the one about Ray Charles, the pianist who died quite a few years ago. But he was a blind pianist. He was one of the best he ever did. Who he ever did. He was one of the best piano players. Hit the Road Jack, I Got a Woman. A lot of famous songs was written and performed by him. He did great doing it, and I think it was Jamie Foxx, the actor's name, who played him. Did a great job. I never knew that Ray Charles had a heroin addiction. I never really went into the Ray Charles, history to look into it, but yeah, it's an overall pretty freaking good movie. I don't think it has rewatchability, but it's a pretty good movie. It's a good one to watch. As well as what was it? Was it 13 Hours? Was the name of it? The one with John Krasinski, where they're in is it Bangladesh? I don't remember where it was. It was somewhere. It was somewhere in the Middle East where he's a soldier and it's based on a true story. It was a pretty good movie. There's dust all over my car. I gotta wash my car. I also have to get a new windshield. Windshield's like cracked along the top. You can't feel it in the inside, but it's almost like it's like 2/3 across the way of my windshield. I think I had gotten a rock from a semi or something that just chipped the top, and then it eventually started spreading due to the pressure and whatever on my car. So I'll have to eventually get that changed. It's always I've never had a windshield changed, but I'm pretty sure they wash the inside of your car because when they pop it out, there could be glass fragments in it, so they legally have to wash it to make sure you're not you won't be in danger of any small bits of glass in your car. So I kind of don't want to wash my car. I'll probably just like empty everything in it and then give it to them and be like, well, fucking wash it, bud. And if they don't, they just vacuum it or whatever, and then I'll give it a better scrub down myself the next time when I get it back. But yeah, I don't know. I never do anything with my car myself. I don't. It's a multi-$1,000 asset that I'm just like, I don't want to fuck it up. I just pay someone $100 and they can do my oil change or do a 50-point check, and I never have to learn it. Perfect, dude. Perfect, dude. I'd rather concern myself with other problems. I could put a couple hundred hours into, actually learning the mechanics of a car, knowing how it works, knowing all the electronics and everything, but it's like I don't have the fucking willpower to do it. I don't care enough, you know? I never wanted to do it myself. I'd rather just have professionals or a mechanic, get in under the hood and fix up whatever needs to be done. And then if they fuck it up, it's out of their pocket, not mine, you know? But, yeah, I never liked doing any of the car things myself. Always been sort of about it. But, oh, the car's treated me nice so far. Although I never really could drive a truck. Like, I think I've driven a truck once or twice. I drove my grandmother's truck once, like a couple of years ago. But I don't know. I've always preferred a sedan over an SUV or a truck or something. But yeah, I've always preferred sedans over trucks. I've always liked it low, and I don't really drive fast either. I'm basically like 90 at this point. I drive the speed limit and that's it. I don't go over. I don't really care. I'm never really in that much of a rush to be somewhere. So why not just relax and enjoy the drive? When people will rip like 130 down a highway in kilometers, not miles. You get like a 110 speed limit on the one, and people just rip 130, and it's like, how much time are you even saving that you'll just waste doing something else? Who knows? But yeah, driving in Canada is the cities are pretty nice. I mean, you have like you have a couple big roads, and other than that, it's normally quiet. Sometimes we have like really shit roads, especially in like the urban areas of the big cities. You just get holes where it's like, wow, this is just. You get roads where it's just like, wow, it's all holes. It's just potholes. That's it. That's all that makes up the road, and you're just trying to not get your car stuck in what is essentially a bear trap on your road. And then the highways are normally redone, and they're a little bit nicer at least. But yeah, the road section's not great, and I almost feel like I don't know, we're somehow. We're getting taxed on income tax like fucking 40% or some fucking high ass bullshit, especially for the middle class. And then it's like, where the fuck does all that money go? Does it all go into like mental health spending? Where the fuck is all our money go? I remember they were especially talking about how, oh, we're giving so much money to these programs, and it's like, what about just like the general like well-beings of the people? You know, what about all these roads and our slow health plans? Like we do have the up in Canada we have that. I don't remember what it's called. It's like National Health Organization or whatever like national healthcare system that we have. It's nice. You go to the hospital. You're like, fuck, I got a broken leg, and they're like, well, here's what you get. Here's the here's the cast. Here's everything. Here's the physiotherapy. Oh, you gotta pay $40 for crutches, and you're like, that's fucking bullshit, But you go to America and you get a broken leg, and you're gonna pay 60 grand or whatever the fuck bullshit amount if you don't have insurance. But one nice thing is you don't have to worry about paying when you go. You sort of pay early, and then you might use it, you might not. You might go your entire life, working 25 years, never having a major injury or health problem that forces you to go to the hospital to actually receive a treatment or assistance of any sort. And then you just miraculously die without having to do any issues. You get T-boned or something, or you have a heart attack and you don't make it to the hospital, and you never use a cent that you had actually donated to that. And these people, these children who have cancer or some horrible thing, they can at least get the treatment that they need without their parents selling their house and taking out 100 grand loans just to pay for it. It was like, it can benefit each individual differently. Like I haven't gone to the hospital for any major treatments in years. I remember as a kid I had some lower spine issue where it's like I could be leaking spinal fluid, which if you do, you're essentially paralyzed for life or however the fuck it works. But these I haven't been to the hospital for a major issue since then. I've never broken anything or fractured anything in any sports or anything, so I've never really had to use any of the money that I've actually put into that program. But then again, I'm a 19-year-old kid who hasn't really worked a whole lot for a lot of that money to get taken away. I've done summer jobs and everything, stuff I've had to pay a little bit of tax on, but nothing extreme yet where I'm paying 40% of my paycheck just for income tax. But it always wonders me where that money goes exactly. Like, I'd love for the government to be more. I don't know if I just haven't searched for it or if it's not even public knowledge or not, but I'd love to, like, get a breakdown from the government that says, here's what we spent exactly. This is the percent that we spent on, this industry, this industry, this industry, this industry, this mental health, this health plan, this, fixing the roads, paying essential workers that don't get paid in any other way, like hospitals and stuff and whatever. It would be interesting to know where all that money goes, because, you hear these cities and these provinces, they spend, we're gonna put $100 million into, fixing our roads and our highways and everything. It's like, but where is, how does all that money actually go to work? Where does that money just come in from taxpayers or what? How does it circulate? How do we gain this wealth? Especially because they'll say, oh, we're so many millions or billions of dollars in debt, and it's like, well, fuck, how did we even get there? You get into this system where you start and there's 7.8 billion people in the world, and there's no way it's sustainable there's no way to sustainably live like any first world person. Not everyone in the world can live like a normal American. You can't live in a two-story house with three other people and eat meat every day and expect it to have the sustainability. There's not enough products on the planet. But then, if you want people to live luxuriously, other people have to live poorly. There's millions of people who are undernourished and in poverty across the world, and then there's also people that are in who are overweight. And that's one of the crazy things that I've always found is you're overweight while there's other people that are underfed. It's a weird it's this weird like situation, and it's hard to wrap your head around it how we even get there. But yeah, like and then not only that, there's a portion of those overweight people who are also extremely obese, where they've eaten so much that they're almost bedridden or they can barely walk. It's like, how the fuck do you even get there, especially when you live in these places where you can go to the grocery store and you can get lettuce, cucumbers, tomatoes, carrots, you can get lean meat, you can get rice and potatoes and these things that you won't gain extreme amounts of weight in short periods of time. But then you have all these opportunities for a healthy living, but people will still go with, I want a donut. you know it's like, fuck, especially like the underweight kids in or sorry the overweight kids in these these first world countries is insane. It's insane how like these 8-year-olds can be 200 pounds. It's like, how the fuck did they even get there? Give them an apple. Why are you giving them cupcakes and donuts and everything? Look at your kid. You just can't say no to him. What's your issue there? What's your issue? It's like, how do these parents even think that's a good choice? That their kids are, obese. That shouldn't be possible. Your kids being obese. Give them an apple. Tell them to go outside and have fun. You know. I don't know how. Maybe I'm speaking from a privileged point where I've always been underweight and skinny and a high metabolism, so I don't really gain weight no matter what I eat. But then again, I don't eat garbage every day. I'm not eating a bag of chips. I haven't had a bag of chips in months. I haven't had soda in months. I just go for water. I go for your meat and potatoes and salad. It's like, I don't know how people reach those positions. Maybe it's just a lack of activity, lack of motivation, a, a poor mental health. You know, but I don't know how kids can possibly be obese. It's an insane idea to me. Especially like there's programs I know, especially in the U.S., where they are trying to stop kids from being obese. It's like, why do you have to have these programs? It's like, it's like, how stupid are these parents? You know how you're essentially like leading your kid down a horrible path by having, if you're an obese kid, you're either gonna have to put in a ton of effort to better your livelihood to be healthy and fit, or you're gonna be obese for your life. It's like you're giving these kids, these sugary shit and fatty things, and you're just clogging up their arteries at 12 years old. I don't know how they do it. I don't know how parents can let that happen. Especially like, how many people are so uneducated about what they should eat every day. Like, they think a bowl of ice cream every day is good or it's fine. No, it isn't. A bowl of ice cream every day is horrible. Especially because a bowl of ice cream every day, you're basically reaching your sugar cap or your recommended daily sugar amount every day just in that bowl of ice cream. Let alone, you're probably going to have sugar cereal at breakfast and you're going to have, a muffin for a morning snack, and then you're going to have lunch and you're going to go to a takeout place where you're going to get, let's say you get a sub and then a Coke with it. Your Coke, let alone, say you get one of those bottles of Coke that's like twice your daily sugar in it alone. And then you're in the afternoon and you're like, oh, someone brought donuts into the office. I'll get a donut. And you get a donut, and then you know, you get home and you eat supper, and then you have a bag of popcorn. It's like, how the fuck? Or you have that you know bowl of ice cream. It's like you're gonna reach your daily sugar amount by 9 o'clock after your fucking sugar cereal, after you've eaten like 4 cups of Fruit Loops with a quarter of a gallon of milk. Some of these people, dude, and you've already reached your daily sugar cap by there. You're having like 5 times your daily sugar amount. You're like, why am I getting fat? It's like, that's why you're getting fat. Look at what you're eating. If calories in is greater than calories out, you're gonna get fat. That's how it works. And it's so effortless to do it, and it's so easy and so tempting, I find. Like the amount of times I've been like, wow, I want a bag of sour cream and onion chips. I want all dressed chips. I want to have, a bottle of Coca-Cola, and it's like, fuck. But look at what it does to you. You look at the people who are 300 pounds, and they're not bodybuilders. They're fat. Is really what it is. They're fat. It's like, Jesus Christ. It's like, that's how they got down there. Is they want that, and then you don't have self control, and then, oh well, here I am. 32, 300 pounds, unmarried. You know, and then you got to turn your life around. Where it's like, I feel like so many people don't realize that you shouldn't at some point have to turn your life around. You should be on going the right direction. And you can sway, you know? Don't feel afraid to eat a cinnamon bun or a bowl of ice cream or a donut or a muffin or whatever you want, but don't be eating that every day. It's like you got to know that's not good for you. You got to know. You got to know that if you eat a donut every day, you're going to get fat. It's not good for you. Your arteries are going to clog up. You're going to have a heart attack at 32, you know? But yeah, I don't see, especially because it's so easy, because you go to the supermarket or the grocery store or wherever you go, and it's like you see those plastic containers at Walmart or something, and they have those chocolate chip cookies or the M&M cookies. You all know the ones that I'm talking about, and they're on sale for $2 for like 20 cookies. And of course, they're going to turn a profit doing that. Walmart's turning a profit. They're paying $1 for that. And then they're going to make $1 profit off of each one of those. That's why they're putting it on sale. And the people who make it, it's going to cost them 50 cents to make that package. So they're making 50 cents on each one, and they're pumping those out like crazy. And it's only you that's getting fucked. Everybody else who's delivering those cookies to you are making a profit. Otherwise, they wouldn't buy them and they wouldn't sell them. Unless they just need to get the stock off the shelves, things are on sale because it's gonna boost, it's gonna boost profit. Even if each individual package is not having an individual profit be higher, the overall profit is higher because they're selling more at a reduced rate. But you see those cookies, and it's like $2. It's like that's a ton of cookies. But if you eat, like 2 of those a day, you're gonna have so much sugar in just those cookies alone, so much just fat from whatever butter or whatever that they put in there that's not good for you. And you get those, and it's $2, but there's a lot of calories, a lot of energy packed into that, but there's almost no nutrients. It's basically all bad for you eating cookies. And then you go to You go to the vegetable aisle, and it's never on sale. There, I don't remember the last time I saw carrots that were on sale. It's quite rare. I don't know if I'm going at a bad time, but I never see carrots on sale. And you go to the carrots aisle, and you look at these pack of baby carrots, and they're selling them for $3.99. You're gonna pay $4 for a bag of carrots, or you're gonna pay $2 for a container of cookies. It's like most people are gonna look at it, they're gonna be like, I'm gonna get more happiness out of the cookies. But you gotta make the right decision to get the carrots. There's gonna be better nutrients. You're gonna feel better after eating those carrots. They're probably gonna last you longer, and they're gonna be better for you in the long run, even if it's economically bad. I get it if maybe you're not living economically good, but then again, you could also there's programs where I know, especially here in the city, if you really need it, if you're really struggling to put the food on the table, let alone pay the rent as well as keep the lights on and everything, your budget's so fucking slim because you get paid $11 an hour when it's not even a livable wage in most places. You get paid $11 an hour and you can barely put food on the table. It's like, sure, you could just buy it, just keep yourself alive at the bare minimum. But when you get the little bit of economic, security and flexibility, try and make better decisions. Don't feel afraid to eat the cinnamon bun because one cinnamon bun a week, it's not gonna kill you. It's not that bad. If you smoke a cigarette once every 3 months for the rest of your life, you're not gonna have lung cancer from cigarettes. It's when you smoke a cigarette every day for the rest of your life, that's when you get the lung cancer. It's probably an okay analogy, but you gotta realize at some point that, what you're doing is probably not a great decision in the long run, especially because there's so much education too that you are educated at a very young age. You should eat your fruits and vegetables, but it's never carried through. It's never really carried through to adulthood. It's never really pushed for people to actually eat good, because I don't know. It's kind of weird. You like taught in elementary school, you should eat your fruits and vegetables. You should get so much, meat per day. You should get so much grain per day. You should only have this much fat, and people will be like, "That's a good choice," and then they just won't even follow it, or it's not drilled into their head at any point that maybe they shouldn't eat complete garbage every day of their life, and then they end up just going down this horrible path where, you know, they can't they can't start their morning without a coffee because they started drinking coffee in grade 10 of high school, and they can't go anywhere in their life, and they can't function normally without it, and they just develop these actual addictions to substances that if they don't have it, they can't really live. It's kind of crazy watching people that I know that they go through caffeine withdrawals and sugar withdrawals, and it's like, fuck, they should just show that to kids. You're taught like this is a person who was on heroin. This is what their brain looks like, or they did meth, or they smoked weed for years, and you see like the holes in their brain and their fucking scabs in their skin. You're taught that, and at some point, at least I was, and in Canada, and you're taught that, but you're never really taught, oh, this is what happens when you don't eat your fruits and vegetables. Here's this 400-pound man who's having a fucking horrible time right now, who's a diabetic, and his fucking knees are buckling from his weight. It's like you're never really shown any of the impacts of your decisions of eating until you actually experience them yourself. I'm not telling you to be anorexic, get some good food. Don't go out every day of the week to order in. If you're eating takeout every day of the week, you've got to know it's not good for you at some point. If you're eating KFC you know, 12 times a month, you gotta know you're gonna get a heart attack at 35. You're not gonna last very long eating that. You know that. And if you don't know that, you use a fucking news flash. Maybe look at what you're putting in there, especially if it doesn't seem very natural. Like, where the fuck do blue freezies come from? Honestly, blue freezies don't grow on trees. It's like, it's ice, and then what the fuck is that syrup? What the fuck is high fructose corn syrup? How the fuck do they make high fructose corn syrup? If you looked at me and said we need 100 grams of high fructose corn syrup now, I'd be like, fuck if I know, bud. Figure it out. But if you were to tell me we need flour, it's like, well, get some wheat, grind it up, do whatever process. It's like, there you go, you got it. Or you'd tell me make a salad. Here are all the ingredients, and it's like, oh, well, that's lettuce, that's tomatoes, that's cucumbers. Those are, whatever other vegetables you want to put in your salad, olives, feta, whatever. I understand all of those things, but it's like, if you were to give me all of the ingredients to make like a bottle of Coca-Cola, I'd be like, fuck, this is probably horrible, because you'd have like, let's say you wanted a liter of Coca-Cola, you'd have like maybe, what, like 800 milliliters of water, and then you just have like 60 like gram cubes of just sugar, and you're like, fuck, is that really what's in it? Is that really what's in it? Yes, that's what's in it. You're getting twice your daily sugar just from drinking a bottle of Coke or Dr. Pepper or godforsaken Orange Crush or Mountain Dew or any of that. Let alone these energy drinks that, you drink a Red Bull, it's like, fuck, look at what's in that. Look at the taurine and everything. You're gonna clog up your arteries at 18. Let alone reaching 30, 60, 80. If you want grandchildren, you better stop drinking energy drinks, because that's not going to get you anywhere. Not going to get you anywhere for sure. And I know it's definitely hard to quit these shit, I stopped drinking, pop altogether after having it like every day for a month, and I was like shaking. It's fucking withdrawals is horrible. But, at some point you gotta do it. You gotta realize that you can't keep doing it. You can't keep smoking, drinking coffee, or coke, or drinking coke, or doing coke, or heroin or meth, That's why they say not even once, because you'll get addicted like that, You'll snap your fingers and you're underneath an overpass looking for your next hit of heroin. It's like, how the fuck did I get here? Just trying to relax one night with some friends, and now I'm fucked. But definitely like horrible. If you ever watch the people who are in rehab with heroin addictions, if they fucking get sweats, they get shakes, they fucking scream. It's a horrible thing to watch. And you can get something similar to that with food, but it's not as bad as heroin for sure, because no matter who you are or what you're doing, you're gonna love heroin. You're gonna love heroin. It's better than anything, from what I've been told. That's one of the things that scared me, is no matter where you're from, who you are, where you grew up, what your political beliefs are, what your religious beliefs are, or what you eat daily, what you don't eat daily, you will love heroin. And that's the scariest shit that I've ever heard. Is no matter what you are or who you are, you'll love heroin. And that's the fucking thing that's always like scared the shit out of me about it. As you just, especially when you see these drugged up people, they're like fucking sleepy. They're sleepy on the street, doing this fucking drug. But yeah, I don't know. There goes my fucking drug and food ramble. Look at what you're putting in there. Actually take a look. Actually take a look. Look at the nutrition facts. They legally have to put nutrition facts on things. Just look at it. They don't put the daily percentage sugar either, which is kind of a fucking crime. Especially when you look at a lot of these products. Like if you look at, your Fruit Loops or your Captain Crunch, or your ice cream, whatever. Anything that you think might have sugar in it, probably has like 2 to 3 times the amount of sugar that you think is actually in there, or the amount that you should actually have. Like, people will be like, yeah, I gotta have a bottle of Coke a day and I'd be fine. It's like, no, you won't. The reason that they've created these percentage daily amounts is because you're not supposed to go over that, or else you're gonna have long-term health effects. If you're having, 80 grams of sugar a day, you gotta know that's not good for you. You gotta think, is 80 grams of sugar actually good for my body? Probably not. Your liver is gonna hate you. Your pancreas is gonna hate you. Your heart's gonna hate you too. Oh God. And you're probably gonna hate yourself, because that doesn't really go anywhere. You don't just like shit out the sugar. No, it gets turned into fat. It gets turned into fat. Your body says there's too much sugar. Just turn it into fat. I don't know what to do with it. And then eventually it will catch up to you. It will catch up to you in some way. Some way, somehow. I think sitting in line here bitching about things, I can't even see how many lines of cars there are next to me. There's so fucking many. And I don't know. You almost think at this point that there isn't enough, people. Or there isn't enough vaccines for all these people. I hope to God there is. I hope everyone here gets a shot, but who knows if they will or they won't. But what time are we at? We are at 11:14. 11:14, an hour and a half into the podcast. I'll probably go for another 45 minutes, because that'll be roughly 12 o'clock, and then they'll be starting those vaccine rollouts. I just hope that I don't get a reaction to it. I hope it's just normal. I'm not going to control whether or not I get a reaction. If I pass out, head on the horn, then it's shitty. I'll probably wait like 20 minutes, because I don't want to be driving home and then, swerve off traffic or whatever. But I'll get the Fauci ouchie of the Pfizer on my left arm if they have enough. Otherwise I'll come back tomorrow, because I think they're open again. I'll probably come earlier. I got here at like 9:40? I guess I can check here. Because I started roughly around an hour and a half. It's 11:15. And yeah, I'd probably be sitting here since about quarter to 10 ish. Sitting here for 2 hours and a bit. Just hope that there is enough. A lot of people getting out of their cars. I don't know why. Maybe they just they're not a professional sitter like myself. They can't sit here for 8 hours a day waiting to get a vaccine. But I feel like, I don't know, a lot of these people, I don't see them. There's definitely some teenagers like myself here. A couple 19-year-olds, 20-year-olds. But even like some older people, like 28 and whatever, even though it's been open for a bit for them. But then again, train's back. Then again, they like gave like no time between ages. They get like 2,000 doses in the city, and then but then there'll be like there's like, I don't know, like 250,000 people or whatever, and that need to get the vaccine, overall. And then how many of those people are between 20 and 30? Well, probably a sizable amount, probably at least like 50,000 people. So they have to get 50,000 vaccines, and then they open it up for 20 to 18-year-olds for 2 days. Well, no way they're gonna have like 4,000 vaccines. There's gonna be like 15,000 people bare minimum that need the vaccine in those age groups. You're not gonna have enough. And then they keep opening it to younger and younger ages, and it's like, now you're just gonna have all these people waiting in line, wasting their life away. I don't even know what the fuck is on this train. I saw like wood. It looks like garbage, honestly. That's kind of fucking sad. It looks like fucking trash. I don't really know. They're like open car. They're like they're like one of those half cars, like open. I think that might be. That might be. I can't even tell. It's not even coal. It's not black enough to be coal. I don't know. And then there's a couple petroleum tanks. Quite a few petroleum tanks. But then again, everybody needs their goddamn gas. Because we decided a long time ago that gas vehicles were better. Then we found out they're not. But now we have to make a big shift to not driving gas vehicles. But I feel like that's definitely going to be harder because of how many fucking vehicles there are on the planet. Especially with like how much there are. How many old cars. It's like, if you gave me an old car and you said scrap that for all its parts, there'd be so much trash that I would have no clue what to do with. There'd be so much. You know? But there's so many fucking vehicles. There's like 5 billion vehicles or some crazy shit. That's like, what do we do with all of those in 50 years when none of them are drivable? And there's more being pumped out as I speak. Probably within this podcast, there were probably like, I don't know, like 100,000 cars or some fucking, maybe not 100,000, but probably like 10,000 cars, pumped out through the factories. It's like all of those are going to need gas. All of those are going to create CO2 that goes in the atmosphere. And it's like, Jesus, why do we not, make this shift? Make a good shift to make a change for the environment. But I don't know. So many climate change deniers. Climate change is just not real. It's like, how the fuck do you know climate change isn't or isn't real? Are you a scientist? It's like most scientists are saying, basically all scientists are saying, climate change is real. We have only so many years before we're essentially fucked, And it's kind of crazy how, like, I don't know, especially as like if you're becoming an engineer or anywhere in the STEM fields or anything, you're gonna be part of this humongous shift of like trying to go from these unsustainable, single-use things to better products. Especially with how easy it is to just make single-use shit. Like plastic forks or plastic spoons. It's like those are fucking horrible. Especially because like those don't go away. You don't like bury it in a backyard and then the ground absorbs it and turns into nutrients for plants. No, that plastic stays there for thousands of years. It doesn't just disappear. And hell, it doesn't end up in the ground. It ends up in the fucking ocean. And I feel like in my lifetime, there's gonna be like a big push to get all this fucking plastic out of the ocean. Like, I don't even want to eat fish at this point. With how much microplastics are probably in the fucking water and in the food that the fish eat, that are then in the fish, that are then in mine, I might as well just eat the goddamn fucking water bottles myself. Like, plastic is such a crazy thing, and all these oil products are such a crazy thing that we built our whole fucking planet around it before even possibly realizing the impacts of our decision. And now I'm fucking born into this fucking, 2-6 hand where I have to somehow make it pocket aces. It's like, that's fucking impossible. How the fuck am I gonna do anything? Like, I don't know. At some point, I'm gonna end up having to, buy an electric vehicle, create this electrical plan in my house to, power it and, make sure the power stays on somehow. And there's still also so many things that require fossil fuels to work. Otherwise, it won't happen. Like, if you want to make steel, you're gonna need coal, or you're gonna need some form of CO2 emission. You gotta create this immense amount of heat to actually form and create steel. And steel is so fucking important. There's so many big things that require steel. Like, there's steel in your car. There's fucking steel in probably in like every major building that I'm looking at downtown. There's steel in this stadium that they just built. There's so much that it goes into that you don't even realize before you actually look at it. And that's just steel alone. We're not even talking about these, you know, I was looking at my car here. There's immense amounts of plastic, and you know, I have this like, it's not really like it's almost like that like fake leather. It's not like real. It might be real leather. I honestly don't know. And then, you know, like lining in my car. It's like, how the fuck did that get there? You know, and there's cotton, you know, seats. Like, how the fuck do you make cotton seats? How do you make a seatbelt? How do you make an air conditioner? It's like all these big things, and especially because so much of it, the creation of this is probably based on CO2. I wouldn't be surprised if at some point in my life there'll be engineers that'll be just trying to find a way to make so many things that are made out of from CO2 and carbon emitting you know, practices that have to somehow do it all electric and get net zero emissions. And that to me is crazy. You know, it's crazy. Like, and applaud to the people that are trying to do their part. You know, Elon Musk and all the electric vehicle companies and everything. But still, even in the creation of these electric vehicles, you're gonna have these, you know, CO2 emissions at some point. It's there's gonna be processes that you can only have done in certain ways, you know, that require any emissions in the atmosphere. But yeah, I don't know how we're gonna get all of these emissions to net zero, and especially in all of the countries. Thank God, you know, Biden was reelected in the states, and he actually had a fucking carbon plan. Who knows if he's actually gonna, you know, stick with it, or actually gonna, you know, put any big long-term effort into improving America's emissions, because it's like, it's pretty high up there, especially with China too. China and all their mass factories, and they call them like the gigafactories, where they're like humongous and they're billowing smoke, and you know, they have like a fucking billion people, and all of those people have to eat, drink water, and shit in a river. And you don't even realize like how many people there are. And it's like 7.8 billion people are gonna fucking take a shit in the next week. At least one. Let alone, they're probably each gonna take, most people are probably gonna take one every single day. It's like, what do you do with all that? Thank God I live in a fucking place where it has a sewer system, and you know, I can just shit, flush it down the toilet, and it disappears. You know, it goes to somebody else's problem. But if I had to deal with that, oh my God, it'd be a mess. What are you gonna do with 7.8 billion people shit? That's so much. That's thousands of tons of just feces alone. What the hell are you gonna do with that? How are you gonna deal with that? Let alone, not only are they gonna shit, they're probably gonna create some sort of other type of waste, garbage of some sort. You know, they're gonna use a napkin. You know, if 7.8 billion people used a napkin today and then threw it out, you're gonna have a city of just napkins laying around, you know, that were used. It's like, holy shit. The amount, it's like, how is this sustainable? How have we even gotten this far? You know, and it's probably modern, I'm pretty sure it's modern medicine, isn't it? Where this modern medicine of trying to save everyone, which is good, you know. You don't want people to die, you don't want your loved ones to die, but at some point they gotta, you know. That's all I'm saying. I don't want people to die, but 7.8 billion people, a lot of us have gotta go. A lot of us are gonna go, and it's what's gonna happen after we go that fucking kind of scares me, you know. If I have grandchildren, fuck, if I'm dealt 2-6, what are they dealt? You know, what sort of, you know, shithole place are they born into that they are gonna have to try and figure out and improve in some way? Fuck if I know, dude. Like, just looking at the issues alone, climate change, the melting of the ice caps, there's too much trash, there's too many people, there's plastic in the oceans. There's species going extinct every year. It's like, what the hell am I supposed to do? We have a lack of leadership to tell us what the hell we're gonna do, because I don't think anybody knows what to do. I truly don't. Especially like the leaders of the leaders of the free world, the leaders of these major countries. They're just trying to fucking keep shit together, make sure that baby doesn't shit all over the floor, let alone raise it to be a good human being. They're trying to make sure these people can just live and have a good life, let alone actually make it sustainable and good for the rest of the world. And I don't know what we're gonna do. I don't know. We're gonna have to, switch to uh, electric power generation. Hydro dams and windmills and thermal energy and everything from the earth, which isn't very much, but there is a little bit. And it's like, how are we gonna do all this? This is gonna cost quadrillions of dollars, let alone trillions, just to make this extreme shift in the planet to better improve the lives of the people as a whole. And it's kind of crazy, like the impact of human beings on the environment. You see there were less people visiting Italy, and the what the hell is it called, that like that flooded city or whatever. And it's like, after everyone was gone with their boats and everyone went inside in Italy, all of the wildlife and everything went back, and you see just straight up the human impact on the environment. Just our horrible impact that we have created, And I blame white people. I mean, I don't know if maybe just the white people were ahead of their time, in the past 2,000 years. Maybe they want to do bigger and better and be bigger and better, but it's like, they create this industrial revolution, and they're billowing smoke, and they're taking over worlds and everything. Who knows if maybe if they didn't, another society would. Who knows, maybe if we would reach this insane, level of global, power through everything. You have countries, you have continents divided up into countries, divided up into states, divided up into cities, divided up into communities and everything. And then in all of these, there's, tons and tons and tons and tons and tons of people. And I don't even know where the fuck I was going, honestly. I have no idea where the fuck I was going. I was talking about something. Just rambling, honestly. I'm just rambling for like another, fuck if I know, 30 minutes until I'm able to go. Surprisingly, I guess it is only taking audio. 1 hour and 48 minutes. Took only 14% of my phone battery. That's fucking crazy. That's fucking crazy, especially like the MP3 file size. It's gonna be insane. Damn, phones have come a long way. That too, fucking phones. Like, if I were to look at everyone around me right now, every single one of these people have a phone. Each one of those have a fucking lithium-ion battery in it. Each one of them have fucking processors and wires and components and glass screens and, plastic cases and everything. It's like, how the fuck do we deal with all of that? And not to judge the people beside me, but this lady beside me is eating something out of a plastic wrap of, I don't know if she has like a puff wheat cake or something. I don't know. I don't really know. She has a spoon or something. I don't know what she's really doing, but she has this this plastic wrap, and this dude who's walking by is holding a Tim's cup with a bag of probably what's a donut or a muffin or something in it. It's like, where does that go once we throw it out? And does it just go to this this mountain of trash next to the city. What the fuck do we do with that? It's like, how have we not realized that that's just gonna keep building and building and building till it's the size of goddamn Mount Everest? What do you do with all that? Just burn it? Even if we do burn it, that shit goes back into the atmosphere. There's goddamn not enough trees to deal with all that CO2. And the trees, too. Oh, the trees, the forests are gonna cut down like crazy. And it takes fucking 100 years to grow back those forests. It's like, how the fuck is any of it sustainable? It isn't. It isn't. Fucking species are dying. I see a Canadian goose above. I don't see any other birds. I don't see a robin. I don't see a rabbit anywhere. You know, I don't see any animals at all. Hell, I don't even see any bugs on the pavement here. Maybe it's too cold in the morning for them to come out, but I don't know. Maybe it's just a lack of species diversity from all of our impacts that we've created. You know? Not to sound like a sadist, but I feel like the human race is just a fucking shit show. You know? Here's another lady walking by with a Timmy's cup and a bag, not realizing what the fuck is going to happen with that after she's done with it. You know? What the fuck do you do with a Timmy's cup when you're done with it? That shit doesn't just... There isn't like a fucking animal that just eats Timmy's cups and it disappears. No, that shit just has to be dealt with by somebody in some way. These people are leaving their cars. They're all getting Timmy's. They're all getting their coffee. All has to be grown somewhere. All has to be given water and then shipped across the fucking planet in boats that are using CO2 to drive into the atmosphere, and you know, God knows what else that's required to actually get it here, and then it's placed in a plastic bag to get these coffee beans, and then, you know, it's, you know, ripped out of plastic that's thrown in a fucking, in a landfill, and this lady ahead of me is smoking a cigarette. It's like, again, I was talking about food earlier. Do you even fucking know what cigarettes do to your body? It's like, I'm pretty sure cigarettes don't even get you very high. It's like, you get like, what, like a little buzz out of cigarettes? You don't even get that much. You don't even get that much. You're probably inhaling more fucking glass and garbage into your fucking lungs than anything else, lady. Like, what are you doing? Like, were you not taught that cigarettes are bad for you, sweetheart? What are you doing? How do you think what you're doing is a good choice? At least she's leaving her fucking car, not smoking with these kids in her car, but oh god. That's the second one she's gone out for. Just standing here in this parking lot alone. In the past under 2 hours, this lady smoked 2 cigarettes. God knows what else she's doing. What happens with a cigarette? Do cigarettes just magically disappear? Do they biodegrade? There's like glass and shit in there, isn't there? They just get buried under more dirt. I bet like, if I were to go to most fucking public parks and start digging, I just find fucking garbage. I just find fucking garbage that people don't pick up. Especially like the main roads on our city. I don't know how people can just think that, oh, I'm done with this fucking plastic water bottle. I don't want to fucking recycle it because I'm an asshole. So I'm just going to throw it on this fucking road for some poor fucking soul that has to pick it up later because I'm a fucking idiot. It's like, what are you doing? I don't know how we begin this destructive cycle of choices. We're living a fucking nightmare. I don't know, like people aren't punished for it either. You're not punished for smoking a cigarette. You can go buy them. Hell, the people that make cigarettes encourage you because that's how they fucking put food on their table for their goddamn children. And they buy, not only that, you know, they buy the nice cars, they buy the nice houses, they buy the yachts, the private jets and everything. And all these, this is the part of the podcast where I start bitching about fucking big companies controlling our society, you know. Big pharma and, you know, Coca-Cola and all these large, huge organizations and companies that say, hey, have our product. Why not? Dude, just have a Pepsi, man. Just have a Pepsi. Just have a Coca-Cola. Just have a fucking coffee and a fucking donut from Timmy's, bud. It's not that bad for you. Well, yeah, if you eat one. But if you have one a day, every day for the rest of your fucking life, well, Christ, God knows where the fuck that's gonna go. Not only in your body, but from whatever waste you're gonna create. Jesus, like, if you told me the amount of fucking trash I alone produced, I'd be fucking scared. And the amount of shit that I've created, just feces, that's probably insane. At least that's biodegradable. If feces weren't biodegradable, I'm pretty sure we'd be up to our neck in feces. We wouldn't know what to do with it. We wouldn't know what to do with it. And I don't even know where that goes. Say, hypothetically, I eat a meal. I process the meal in my body. I take in a certain amount of nutrients. Of course, there is waste. You can't eat something and have none of it goes to waste. There's going to be something. You shit it out. You wipe your ass with toilet paper. It then goes through the pipes. It goes through like kilometers of piping to go to a sewage treatment facility. What do they do with it there? They just like cube it up. They just like pack it all together, you know. And they make giant like meter by meter cubes of just human feces. What do they do with that? Do they bury it underground? They give it to farmers to put it in their fields to fertilize it. What do you do with shit? What do you do with piss too? As far as I can tell, you can't really like. Piss doesn't have any nutrients, you know. What do you do with it? And all these vehicles, they're all gonna have to be scrapped. This is just a sadist episode, you know. Everyone around me is having a jolly old time. These people are looking at their phone, they're on their iPad, they're listening to music, they're having a great time. I'm just sitting over here wondering what the fuck is gonna happen once we're all done with this. You know? All these people are all driving vehicles. All those vehicles will have to at some point disappear off the planet. All these people at some point have to disappear. At some point, every single person around me is going to die. That's kind of fucking crazy. And before they die, they're going to take a ton of shits. They're going to end up in a fucking sewage treatment facility, in a fucking river, essentially. And then they're all going to create waste. That's all going to go to a mountain of waste. What do we do with that mountain? How do we get rid of it? How do we fucking get rid of it? I don't know. Like, I live in a small city, and there's a big mountain of trash. What happens in the big cities? What happens in New York? What happens to New York trash? They just ship it off to some other fucking poor country to deal with it? Literally poor? Not only, like, in a poor situation of, like, oh, fuck, I have to deal with these trash. They're economically poor. You know? Just say, fuck it, here's our trash, deal with it. We'll pay you so much money to just deal with it. And of course you want to fucking do it. You know, you deal with the trash, you can fucking feed your family, you know. You pump gas so you can, you know, put food on the table, you know. It's crazy. Everyone's just trying to stay alive and keep their children and family alive. Not even realizing the fruits of their actions and the consequences of what they do. You know, there's another dude both grabbing a cup of Timmy's, you know. Both getting their coffee. You know, 2 cups of coffee in one of those little like cup holders. You know. I don't even know what to do. Even then, like, we're all sitting here in line for a vaccine, and we're all gonna get stabbed. You can't use the same. Not vaccine, the fucking needle. You can't use the same needle on every single person. You're gonna spread AIDS or something, or some fucking horrible thing. They have to use a new one to stab you, put it in, and then fucking get over with it, you know? But, that's kind of fucking crazy, dude. Kind of crazy. where do all those needles go? They burn them, right? To sterilize them, they fucking burn them. I'm pretty sure, like, somebody I know knows a guy who is the the guy who takes those needles. They take needles and they dispose of them. I would have no idea. If you told me to get rid of a needle, I would have no idea. Burn it, maybe? Even when you burn it, you're going to get waste of some sort. Where the hell does that go? They disassemble it in some way? Or is it just like, or is it just like fucking the end of Toy Story 3 where they just put it all in there and then it just all burns? You know? What happens there? What happens? God knows what. God knows what. And I don't know what we're gonna do. I don't know what we're gonna do. We kind of just dug ourselves a fucking pit to the center of the fucking earth. We gotta somehow climb out of it. You gotta somehow climb out of it while someone's pulling you down and still digging at the same time. You know, how the hell are you gonna do anything? Who knows? Maybe I'm over exaggerating our problems. Maybe climate change isn't real. Who fucking knows? I'm not a goddamn scientist. Well, you can look at the fucking graphs and look at our CO2 emissions as well as the heat that has been the global temperature has increased as well at basically the same rate as our CO2 emissions. You know, but I'm still driving a fucking gas vehicle. You know, I'm still ordering takeout. What am I doing? I'm no better than the people that I complain about. You know, we're all given to this fucking situation that we have no clue what the fuck we're doing, and we gotta somehow make a good outcome out of it. I don't know what to do. You know, even if you want to become an engineer, make a change. How do you fucking start anything? How do you start anything? You know, how do you change an entire city's power coming from, you know, natural gas and coal and everything that's powering people's homes and furnaces and, you know, keeping the lights on and everything? How do we change all of that system, and then just like convert it to wind and solar and hydro? Especially when like you live in the prairies, there ain't no rivers here. I'll tell you that. There ain't no rivers, there ain't no mountains, there ain't much. You got wind and you got solar. Is essentially what you got. There isn't really any geothermal, and maybe you got nuclear. You know, northern Saskatchewan, there's a uranium mine up in Uranium City, where they mine uranium, and it's one of the top uranium producers in the goddamn planet. And then you make, you know, these nuclear power facilities, and you got to do it right. You got to do it right, or else you get it like Chernobyl. You fucking blow up, or you get it like Fukushima, 3 Mile Island, you know, and uranium's a dangerous substance. It's damn fucking dangerous. You know, it was used in making atomic bombs. It can power homes. It can do so much. The amount of energy that's just stored in these little rocks, essentially, and it's fucking crazy, dude. It's crazy. You gotta get these like powers, like you gotta somehow hook it up to the systems that's already created, and you gotta somehow convince these governors and these mayors and these people to invest in these forms of power. And wind and solar is not all sustainable. I'm looking right now, it's been overcast all fucking morning. Solar's gonna be like 10% effective. You're not gonna have any sun hitting the solar panels. And the wind, it's like, I'm looking at the trees, they're barely moving. There's not much wind here. How the hell are we gonna power anything? You know? How the hell are we gonna power anything that isn't coal and natural gas? You know? Kind of crazy. And how are we gonna make it out of plastic and, or not out of plastic, and make sustainable of some sort? It isn't. I don't think having a planet of 7.8 billion people is sustainable. especially with like 30, was it like 38 million people in Canada? That feels like too much even for Canada. And we're one of the countries, we're the second biggest fucking country based on landmass alone. You know, Russia being the second largest. We're not even talking about India and China, who are much, much smaller than Canada and the US and Russia and all these larger countries. And they they have a billion people each. A billion plus people each in India and China alone. In each of those countries. How the hell do you feed all those people? You don't. A lot of them go undernourished. A lot of them, and then even with people undernourished, there's people at the top 1%, who are, you know, they can eat away, they can fly their private jets, you know. There's there's no stopping them. And this person in front of me was just drinking a cigarette and has turned their car on, and they've been idling. And I see the exhaust, the tiny bit of exhaust flying out, and that's each just pounds and pounds and pounds of CO2 just disappearing into the atmosphere. It just disappears. It just goes away. You don't see it anymore. Just, yeah, it's gone. You know, it's just gone. But it isn't. Law of conservation of mass tells us shit doesn't just disappear. Shit doesn't just disappear. When you burn wood, guess what? All of that fucking wood is now just floating around us. Who knows if the fucking sky's gonna come crashing down tomorrow? Who goddamn knows? All this burning of CO2 is gonna have a extremely negative impact on us. Who knows? Try getting a water bottle. Try getting a water bottle that has no plastic in it. You know how fucking impossible that is? It's goddamn impossible. Let's say you make it out of metal and silicone, maybe. But even then, that's a pain in the ass trying to form those metal containers. You know? And look at this Contigo water bottle that I'm holding. This is a fucking... I can't break this. If you ask me to break this fucking water bottle, like the main portion of the water bottle, I have no fucking clue how to do it. I don't have the fucking strength. This shit is hard plastic. If I were to fucking put this on the ground out there, you know, in this parking lot, it would stay there. It would stay there for 1,000 years, and nothing would happen to it because it's fucking plastic. It's made out of oil. Oil's a fucking... It's a fucking curse, dude. It's a goddamn curse. It's so good at keeping things strong and good, but it's fucking horrible because you don't want things to become strong and good, because all it takes is one small little part to break, and now people are like, "Ah, fucking throw it out," you know. Like if this water bottle, if I just lost the little locking mechanism that stops it from keeping water everywhere, if I just lost the lid, hell, I wouldn't use the fucking bottom. Because the good thing about this water bottle is, you know, I close it, I lock it, and I turn it upside down, and no water spills out. No water spills out. And that's a fucking crazy thing. No water spills out the bottom. You know, it's completely fucking dry in my cup holder. You know? But all this plastic, it's gotta go somewhere. It's gotta go somewhere when I'm eventually done with this water bottle. I don't think this water bottle is gonna last me until I'm 80. Another 61 years? Hell no, it's scratched up like crazy already. Something's eventually gonna break. Whether it's the cap, whether it's the little buccaneer at the back, or it's the little locking mechanism that keeps it from spilling water out, or it's the seal on the little lid that keeps it twist and tight. Who knows? It's eventually gonna fucking break, and I'm gonna throw it out. And I fucking hate that. I hate that. I hate that, dude. I have to eventually throw something out, and there's not a goddamn thing I can do about it. I can't really reprocess this either. You know, I don't know how to recycle plastic. I got no clue. You melt it down? You throw it in a landfill? What happens? What the hell happens? It's BPA free, don't worry. Top rack, dishwasher safe. Made in China like every other fucking thing on the planet. Do not microwave. 2014 Ignite USA. Patent pending. It's BPA free though. Oh thank God it's BPA free. That was a whole lot, you know. when it eventually gets put in the ocean, slowly, very, 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 very slowly starts to degrade, and then it gets in the fish food, and then I eat the fish. I might as well just be chewing on this fucking plastic myself, you know? Like, it's crazy, dude. It's fucking crazy. The world that we live in, and we just like, it's not, just don't worry about it. Well, fuck, I am worrying about it, man. What the hell am I gonna do? What the hell are we gonna do? You know? At some point, I'm gonna die. I may or may not have kids. If I have kids, I'm fucking cursing them for fucking life. They're fucking stuck in a shitty place. There's not much good about the planet. There really isn't. There's nice places to see. There's a couple nice places to meet. You can have sex. You can eat good food. But in the end, you gotta fucking deal with a lot of goddamn problems. You gotta pay taxes. You gotta fucking... Just economy in general is a fucking shit show for people. You know? Trying to pay their taxes. Trying to put food on the table. You know? Trying to still have enough money left over so they'd be fucking happy and not blow their fucking brains out from the shithole that they're living in. You know? And it's just like, holy crap. I feel like if I have kids at this point in time, I'm fucking giving them a death wish. You know? We need a goddamn fucking zombie apocalypse to get our lives back together. Holy shit. You know? I don't know what we're gonna do. I don't know what we're gonna do. And it's not like, they're all pushing, everyone's pushing for, make the climate change and everything, but they're not really doing anything about it. What the hell is fucking Canada doing right now to make sure people don't fucking, drive gas vehicles? They make them pay a small amount of their fucking paycheck towards it every year. How is that going to do anything? How is that going to stop people from, buying takeout in containers or buying pizza that is slightly greasy? They can't recycle the box. It gets thrown out and placed on a fucking mountain of trash. And guess what? They get a fucking salad. And that salad, guess what they eat it with? A plastic fucking fork. And it's in a plastic fucking bowl. And that all gets thrown out and it just fucking goes on that mountain. And there's a mountain everywhere. There's mountains and mountains and mountains of trash. Probably heavier than the actual mountains themselves. You know? What the hell are we going to do? I really don't know. That's a scary idea too. I really don't know what the fuck we're going to do to somehow improve the well-being of the people of the planet in total. Not only the well-being of the people, but the well-being of all the organisms that live with us. You know? Poor fucking animals, the poor sea turtles with a fucking, those little plastic things that hold, bottles of Pepsi together, that you should cut open so they don't get their fucking neck trapped in there. Poor mouse with a fucking can of Coke on its head, trapped in there for the rest of its fucking life. Octopus with a fucking napkin stuck to its fucking forehead, There's so much just crap that we need in order to, that we feel that we need in order to live a normal life, that we really don't. You really don't. I don't get it, man. I don't fucking get it. I don't know what the hell we're gonna do. I really don't. That's been the that's been the half hour of hour of me just having an existential crisis about how the hell we're gonna, make the world a better place. 4 minutes until I can get my vaccine, or when they start giving it out. Earlier when I said, what happens if I have to take a piss? You know that feeling when you're like, I'm gonna have to take a piss in the next 3 hours? That's kind of what I'm feeling right now. And I hope to God they just I'm not like I have to go. I'm gonna have to go at some point soon. It's gonna happen. I'm drinking half a liter of water. That's eventually gonna have to get out of my body. Yeah, piss my pants in the fucking parking lot. Why not? Well, look at these kids ahead of us, and they're having Dairy Queen. You know, good for them. You know, get some chicken or some burgers or something, and a nice lunch. And then look at what you're taking it out of. It's a box that you can't recycle because you have ketchup all over the side and grease from the chicken or the burger or whatever. And well, here's a burger that's wrapped in plastic, in a and then here's the fries, all the shit that's horrible for them. Oh, here's your Coke. But you don't think about it. You don't think about it until you actually have to think about it. Your decisions and your choices that you're making, the food that you're eating, the waste that it creates. And you're just like, it's a good chicken. You chuck it in the garbage and it disappears forever. You know, it doesn't just work like that. It doesn't just disappear. You know. Even even then, you know, like but they don't think they're doing something bad. They're just eating food, having Coke, or Pepsi or iced tea or something. Whatever the fuck they're gonna have. You think about like how the Coca-Cola, mascot is polar bears. Well, it's like how much have they fucking ruined the lives of the polar bears? Just manufacturing Coke alone, it's probably put a ton of CO2 into the atmosphere. And then, you know, just getting the plastic for those Cokes alone, probably putting a ton of CO2 into the atmosphere. And then, they have to get sugar and water and everything. It's going to put a ton of CO2 into the atmosphere. And then they're going to pack it up and they're going to put it in, boxes and whatever. And it's going to go in a truck that's going to drive somewhere that's putting CO2 into the atmosphere. It's going to get placed into it's going to get driven to a supermarket or something. It's going to get placed on shelves by people that create waste that and drive vehicles that are going to put CO2 into the atmosphere. It's like, how the hell are we doing anything good at this point? Just living. We're probably having a fucking horrible impact on every aspect of life that we can see. Fuck, man. It's fucking depressing. Just existing and being intelligent is fucking depressing. I'm not calling myself smart, but I'm not a fucking idiot. I can see what's happening around me. It's fucking scary. It's scary seeing what's happening. But I'm just an ant that's a part of the colony. I'm not the queen or whatever that, makes more ants. I'm just a fucking worker, just trying to fucking keep myself alive. But it's damn hard to keep yourself alive and not have any large impacts. Stay healthy and be happy all at the same time. It's a fucking three-sided triangle that you're just trying to stay in the middle, but hell, when you try and do one thing, it pulls you one way, and try and do another thing, it pulls you another. You go for happiness, you lose so much. You try and sustain, you lose happiness, Fucking horrible. Fucking horrible. So what happens when I don't play Minecraft for 3 hours a day? I sit in line and I start to think and the gears start to turn and the horrible ideas enter the brain, So they're supposed to open at 12. It's 12:01. Although my phone's, I think, slightly ahead. 2 hours, 19 minutes. That's probably horrible. Every time I pick up my phone, it's probably like just crashing in the fucking, just crashing in the microphone. And I have no idea if the acoustics are good in the car. I mean, I don't hear a lot of echo myself, but I have no idea if there is in the mic itself. It can sometimes just appear. Maybe I'm just used to talking in the car that I don't hear the echo. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed my fucking 2-hour ramble. I'm assuming they'll do something, whether they'll get us to move or they'll come around, I have no idea. You know? You have no idea. A lot of people here. A lot of people are looking to get stabbed in the arm. And then head home and go back to the regularly scheduled program. You know? But you gotta do your part. All gotta do your part. I'm probably trying to stop the voice recording when they eventually come around, so you don't know my fucking personal information when they ask about my health card and shit. You don't hear about the people. Either that or I'll mute it. I don't really want to do editing, so I'll probably just stop it there. You know? But yeah, I don't know what to do anymore, man. I truly don't. You know? It's just a shitty situation to be in. You know, when you're able-bodied, you think you should do something, but you have no idea what to do. You have no idea. I probably look like a fucking psychopath talking to myself. You know, to the people around me. Either that or they don't give a shit. Maybe I'm just egotistical and think people will care about what I'm doing. They don't. They really don't. I don't care what these 2 people beside me do. I don't care what this 1 person beside me does. I don't care what the 4 people ahead of me does. I will criticize them, you know, smoking 2 cigarettes, having some Timmies, having some DQ. They're all looking to get by, just keep themselves happy. They don't realize what they're doing. They don't realize what they're doing. They were just, you know, born into, you know, just, you want a coffee? Have a coffee, you know? Go to fucking Timmy's, you know? Go to Timmy's, you know, get a coffee, get a donut, you know. They'll give it to you, you'll have it, and it'll be good. You get it on a napkin, in a bag. Those 2 things have to go somewhere at some point. You know? It's just me being a broken record, you know? Coffee's gotta be grown somewhere. Coffee beans, they gotta be picked by some fucking soul who is most likely not white. Let's be honest, nobody white's picking fucking coffee beans. They're not. It's either a machine picking coffee beans or it's some fucking poor soul in some hot weather who thinks he's getting a good wage to fucking barely put food on the table. It's probably, you know, if you were living in Canada, it would be against, you know, it would be human right violation or some fucking shit because they're not paying them enough, you know. But that's kind of a crazy thing too, is rights, you know. The right to the freedom of speech, you know. Charter of rights in Canada. You guys have your fucking you know, whatever the fuck it is, you have your amendments in the states. You know, freedom of speech, freedom of religious choice or whatever. You know, you're allowed to own a gun in case the British come back and you have to shoot them or some fucking bullshit that you came up with. You know, and it's like, rights are a crazy thing. Everybody wants them. They're a good thing, right? Right? Who knows? They didn't have rights in, you know, medieval times. They didn't have fucking laws either. Well, they had laws, but, well, much easier to get away with shit. You could just steal, and if somebody says, hey, why are you stealing? And you said, fuck you, I'm stealing your shit. They're like, I don't really like that. And they're like, but you're like 4 times bigger than them. You're a fucking Goliath with armor and a sword. You're like, what the fuck are they gonna do about it? I'm just gonna steal and go. You know, nobody's stopping you. You're in my way. Here's a sword. Cut you in half. Fucking get the shit out of my way. You're annoying me. I'll kill you. You know. There were no laws or rights or anything. You know. If people were able to take you down, maybe they imprisoned you if they thought it was the right thing to do. But rights are a crazy thing. They're a crazy thing. It's my right to say and think what I want, you know? You do that 100 years ago, people are like, fuck your rights, here's a fucking gun, bang, you're dead. You know? It's crazy. It's crazy. And just less than, like, less than 200 years ago, people owned other people? Was it 200 years ago? I don't remember when slavery ended. What, maybe 300 years ago? Who knows? There were people who owned other people. That's a fucking crazy thought. I mean, like, that's a piece of... That's an economic value to a human being. If they don't do work for me, well, guess what? I'll just fucking kill them. Or beat the shit out of them until they do work for me. You know? That's a fucking crazy thought. Where the fuck we came from. You know? See a little helicopter above. It's a STARS helicopter, it looks like. I want to pick up someone. Oh, it's a zooming too. It's a zooming. It is currently going east. The fucking crazy thing is helicopters. They're little cars with seats, you know, but instead of fucking tires and shit, they got a fucking blade on the top. You know? Instead of a steering wheel, they got sticks and fucking an entire board of buttons that each do different things. Fucking helicopters are crazy, dude. Crazy. Like, imagine trying to make a helicopter. You can't just put that together like a piece of IKEA furniture. Now it's going southeast. It is turned. I think it's a STARS helicopter. It was red. Most of the time when helicopter's red, it's a STARS helicopter. It is kind of weird though that, like, a lot of these people too that I see walking around, they don't even have a fucking mask on. Their mask is just off. Like, all the people that I was talking about, like people grabbing Timmys and, you know, everything, they don't even fucking think about their actions. The consequences of it, especially the ones that affect other people. You know? They're just trying to get by, they're trying to stay happy. And all the power to you to stay happy, but look at what you're doing. You know? Every minute that I sit here increases the amount of urgency in my body that I need to take a leak. You know? You know, every second I sit here, I'm like, oh fuck, that's a second closer to me having to take a leak. Can we get this fucking stab over with and go? I don't even know if they're, like, you know, down the line or something and they're starting to stab people, or if we're gonna start moving. They're supposed to open at 12. I have no idea if they were late or not. I have no idea if they were late or not. Maybe I should have brought a book. Maybe then I'd be happier. Hell, I don't like reading. Who am I to say? I always found reading boring. I don't know. Can't listen to audiobooks ever either. I just feel like I get pissed off at the people who are talking, you know. And then they went there and they did this. It's like, who gives a fuck? Fuck you. You know? That was a Bill Burr bit too. Read it like a fucking bailiff. You know? But, yeah, I can never get into books. I always enjoyed movies more. It was easier for me to picture something when it was in a movie rather than a book. I might read Game of Thrones, don't know. Might read Lord of the Rings, don't know. Read The Hobbit. Pretty similar to the movies. Kind of weird that they made 3 movies, though. Kind of over the top, you know? But, I mean, there was a lot of substance in the book. It's like a fucking 600-page book. Tolkien gives a lot, and then there were still scenes that were missing, you know? Here comes the lady in front of me. When did she last have that cigarette? What was it? I think it was 11:55? It's 12:13. It's been 40 minutes since she's had a cigarette. And there's another puff of her having one. Yeah. Oh, did she forget her lighter? Nope, she's grabbing her fucking wallet. She's having another cigarette going on her phone, you know? Puff, puff, puff. 3rd cigarette in under 3 hours. Holy fuck, bud. Jesus. It's fucking disgusting, honestly. Disgusting. That's an instant fucking red flag for me and a lady. Puffing a fucking cigarette. Well, this lady's not the greatest either. Looks to be the mother of all 3 of these children in this car. Or at least one of them. Maybe they're the son's friends. Who knows? But I don't know. I don't know how you can puff a cigarette and think you're making a good choice. You know you're making the bad choice, but you still do it anyways. You still do it anyways. Crazy thing. You're just trying to get that dopamine hit of some sort. You know? Get used to it. Grandmother used to smoke. Yeah, she used to smoke quite a lot. Oh, she could have like 1 or 2 cigarettes a day. Yeah. Smoke a lot. No, I always hated it. I always hated that she smoked. Ugh. It's my grandmother on one side and then my grandfather on the other side. Well, then my grandfather passed away. The one who smoked. When I was a very young age, so I never really got a good chance to meet him. But my grandmother, she smoked and I hated it. Her fucking house reeked of it. It reeked. Oh. You'd go there and your clothes would smell like cigarettes after. You knew she smoked inside the house. You're too lazy to take it outside. Live on a farm, who cares, you know? It's like fucking surprised she doesn't have lung cancer at this point. Honestly. Fucking don't even want to look at the inside of those lungs. Be fucking horrible. Well, I'm wondering if we're ever actually gonna get going here, because even if my phone, I think my phone's like 4 minutes ahead. It's like 12:16, so it's like 12:12 actually. You know, but 12:12 and you know what's happening? Are we gonna move on? Because I can't really even leave, even if I wanted to. I can't move my car. I'd have to ask the people ahead of me to move. You know, there's a fire hydrant to my right, and these people are packed fucking door to door, like a parking lot beside us. I can't go back. There's 10 cars behind me. I think even if I wanted to leave, it would be damn fucking hard. At this point, I'm fucking locked in. You know, fucking locked in. I don't hear these people. A few cars down, they got a cup from Burger King. Kind of crazy just thinking about it. You know, sitting here for 2.5 hours just to get a thing in the arm. But you gotta do your fucking part. Dude, I'd give someone $1 if they counted every fuck that I said. Holy. I swear like a sailor. Huh. I've said fuck like... I wouldn't be surprised if it was over 500 times. Someone said you said fuck 532 times. in your 2.5 hours that you were sitting here? I'd be like, yeah, probably. It's a crazy number, but yeah, probably. Swear like a goddamn sailor. I don't know. Maybe that's my vice, you know. I don't drink soda. I don't smoke cigarettes. I just swear a lot. You know? Who knows? Though I am excited for summer. Hopefully summer can go back to normal. Hopefully fall can go back to normal. I'd really like that. Although I'm pretty sure classes aren't going to be normal until winter. Winter classes at the uni. So at basically all unis. You know, I'm pretty sure fall is basically all getting pushed online too. So that'll be, you know, that'll be the end of a winter term, a fall term, a winter term, a spring summer for me, and then a winter term again, or fall term again, all pushed online because we're fucking idiots. You know, we're all a bunch of fucking idiots here. And I feel like everyone tried to do their part, but I don't think anyone really knew the consequences of their actions. They say, "Oh, it's just I'm just going out for, just going out once with my friends to a bar is fine." It's like, well, you're gonna get, you're gonna fucking catch something and you're gonna give it to someone else who's gonna give it to their grandparents. They're gonna die. It's fucking horrific. Here's another dude over here who's puffing a cigarette and has a as a cup from Dairy Queen of a large soda. You know, you probably had a burger with that too. Ugh. But who knows? Maybe your life will improve, or it will get extremely shitty. I really have no idea. I'm not a fucking actuary. I have no idea how things are gonna plan out. If life's gonna get better, if it's gonna get worse, I have no idea. That's a scary part too. Is you have no idea if your life is gonna turn to shit at any point. Gotta be living nice, high, and green grasses, and then it's all fucking trudging through garbage and shit, you know. Well, I hope to God the fucking vaccine does something too. Supposedly you get the fucking, you get the soreness in your arm and the fatigue or whatever. But yeah, it shouldn't be that bad. I'm getting like more and more anxious to have to piss. And I really should have gone before I left. Fuck. Me talking about how I have to piss, how I hate the planet, you know? Everything bad. Everything bad. It's really hard to find fucking pure quiet. Not very often you can find complete silence. Always something. Train passing, car honking, car running, people talking in the car next to me. Sound of people walking outside my vehicle. You know? But don't know what we're gonna do. I don't know what we're gonna do. If I reach 3 hours before they actually get here, I'll probably just call it. 2 hours and 40 minutes. Jesus. 2 hours, 40 minutes, and 9 seconds. Holy. I somehow have to move this all to my fucking PC and then export it. It'd be a shit show. But, yeah, I was planning to play Minecraft today, but they had vaccines open, so you gotta get your Fauci ouchie, you know? I can't fucking sit still in my car. It's so fucking uncomfortable just sitting in a seat, you know? So uncomfortable. I'm a little chilly, too. The heat's slowly dissipating. My knees are... I'm wearing shorts because I'm a fucking idiot. Even though it's 3 degrees, you know? But... be a man. Push it down. Don't be a fucking pussy, you know? But, I'm slowly just waiting away for them to come by and do the thing, you know? But, yeah, I was going to play Minecraft today, and I loaded up, and I looked, and I said, oh shit, I should get the vaccine, so... I had, like, just started, like, the intro and everything. I had just opened up, and it was there was a thunderstorm. I had AFK'd a bit at the creeper farm for, like, 20 minutes. And I think the creeper farm is a little... It's kind of in a shit show because it's, like, it's not really producing the amount that I want. And I'm pretty sure it's because there's caves underground that are stopping it. Or other mobs or something that are spawning somewhere. But, it should be pumping out like that, and it isn't. So, I'll have to take a peek at why it's not working. You know? Try and improve it, make it good. Make it go crazy. But, who knows? Gunpowder is the delicacy in Minecraft. Hard to get a lot of it. Hard to get a lot of it. You either kill gas or creepers or something else. But yeah, I was AFKing it, and then up in that glass spot, and a thunderstorm started, and I was at my computer and I was eating grilled cheese, and I said, oh shit. So I stopped AFKing it so I could use the thunderstorm in what would be today's episode. And I flew over to the village so that I could use my trident to try and turn a villager into a witch, and the sun came out, and it just ended the thunderstorm. It just ended the thunderstorm and said, yeah, no, we're done. And it was a fucking shit show, you know? It's just a shit show. So I flew back and checked the chest, and there was like 15 gunpowder, and I AFK'd for like 20 minutes, and I feel like there should be more than that, is the thing. So I'll have to look into it. I don't know if the spawning platform's in a wrong area or what. But it doesn't seem to be want to go. Maybe maybe there's too many caves underneath that are spawning like zombies or something. Who knows? Who knows? Maybe the creepers are despawning before they can even reach the area. You know? I don't know. Nice little quiet part of the episode. So much, but only... There's so much, but there's only so much in Minecraft, you know? So much you can do, but there's only so much you can do. You know? The problem with sandbox games is you can do whatever you want. If you can think of it, you can make it. You know? You want to make a computer in Minecraft, you can. Yeah. You know? If you want to kill the Ender Dragon 100 times, if you have a fucking effort to, you can. You can. What do I feel like this dude who I was just talking about, who has a cup and a smoke, you know, he doesn't feel like he fits this vehicle. It's like a BMW little buggy almost, a little punch buggy almost, and he looks like he's a hunter. He doesn't fit the car at all. I feel like he should drive a truck. Maybe it's a company vehicle. I don't know, but it feels like it doesn't fit his mantra at all. We are still 2 hours and 47 minutes. The line hasn't moved at all. Still been packed in here like sardines. You know? But hope everyone enjoyed the podcast, even though it was kind of depressing. You know, looking at reality. But who knows? Who knows? Maybe some people enjoyed my fucking dip into insanity. Maybe some people enjoy that. Not really any gameplay to supplement this. Maybe I'll just put up pictures of weird things. I'll put up cursed food pictures or something. Who knows? Some horrible background. Yeah. I don't know how the fuck people could even listen to this. 3 hours of me talking alone to myself. Wow. It's gonna get depressing fast. You know, you start talking about seasons, and you know, we're right into climate change. Right into it. Right into it. People always tend to ask me what my favorite thing is, but there's a lot of things that I don't have a favorite of. I don't know if I'm weird because of it. I don't have a favorite food. You know? I don't. I really don't. People say, well, what's your favorite food? And I say, fuck if I know. There's a lot of food that I enjoy, but I don't think I could keep one as a favorite. You know? If I make one a favorite, everything else is just worse than that. You know? It's just worse than that. If I say my favorite food is steak, well then, where the fuck do, you know, pizza and ribs and, you know, lamb and a nice roast and with gravy and potatoes and everything? Where do all those are all just now like worse than that? I like all of those equally. I don't know. Or favorite fruit? I mean, there's a lot that are good. Apples are pretty fucking good. And I feel like a lot of people only like one type of apples. Like, if you were to give me a Red Delicious, I probably would instantly know it's a Red Delicious, and I'd probably still eat it, but I wouldn't be happy eating it. I always like Gala apples. Gala. Gala apples. If it's not Gala, I probably won't like the apple. Because a nice fresh Gala apple, they have a nice crunch to it and a nice flavor. Ugh. I love it. It's just a tiny bit of like sourness to it. It's not strong at all. It's just tiny bit, you know. But every other apple, like a Red Delicious or a fucking Granny Smith or a Granny Smiths aren't like a normal eating apple though. But yeah, no, it's like all the other ones are just weird. I don't know. I guess I do have a favorite apple, but that's just preference from what I've been given my entire life. You know, by my parents. I just bought Gala apples and I just ate Gala apples. I didn't really eat anything else. But bananas are not bad. A nice mandarin orange, I won't complain. Normal oranges are alright, but a nice mandarin orange I always like during Christmas time. Cherries, oh, you gotta love a cherry. Oh, blueberries, strawberries, blackberries, a lot of berries. A lot of Berry B. Bensons. I wonder if anything's ever gonna happen. You know? Fuck, I'm gonna end the podcast, take a leak, and they're still not gonna be giving out fucking shots. You know? Ugh, another 8 minutes-ish till we're done. Let me know if you like this style podcast rather than me playing Minecraft. I guess I talk a lot more. Not very uplifting. It's quite depressing, but it is what it is. You know. Masachofs in car getting vaccines. Like comedians in cars getting coffee. Masachofs in cars getting vaccines. Getting the Pfizer. Yeah. It still sounds German to me. It still sounds super German. The PF. The Pfizer. I love it. It's a great name. Moderna. Johnson & Johnson. You know. One of those really roll off the tongue like Pfizer. I don't know. At least I think I'm supposed to get the Pfizer, from what I know. And the efficacy rates are all fucking crazy. Fucking Ontario and Saskatchewan, or the fucking Ontario and Saskatchewan. Yeah, the fucking premier in Ontario was talking about how we don't want the Moderna. It's not good enough. It's like, fucking take a vaccine, dude. It'll be good for you. Don't worry. Don't worry that you're not getting the best shit. Take what you can fucking get, man. Stop complaining, you know? But, whatever. People beside me are giggling like schoolgirls. Although, to be fair, they probably are. Probably are students. A lot of people are getting anxious and antsy. They all gotta walk around. I'm pretty sure by the end of the podcast, I'm basically gonna piss myself because I now I gotta piss. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna lie. It's kind of a crazy thing. The human body. Take it in the mouth, process it in the body, send it out the bottom. You know. It's kind of crazy that, like, we call our butts our bottoms. How is that the bottom of a human being? I guess maybe it's just the bottom of the bowel system. The digestive tract, you know? Maybe. I have no idea if they've even started vaccinating people or not. But I'd like to get the show on the road at some point. Because we are a half hour in. And it doesn't seem like we're supposed to start at 12 o'clock. It's nearly 12:30, and well, I haven't really seen any of the people, and in the parking lot giving out vaccines. I haven't seen any of the people in the bright colored vests telling people, "Hey, let's go, let's move." Or anybody coming by in medical equipment that says, "Hey, roll down your fucking window, you're gonna get stabbed." But let's just hope I don't have a fucking reaction to it. Because if I do, that'd just be unfortunate, Just be unfortunate. I guess I should drink some water. It's probably not going to help my need to pee. Probably not going to help it at all. I feel like it's like Bill Burr's Philadelphia rant, where I'm just like counting down the minutes. 3 more minutes and 20 seconds till I can end the podcast and go take a leak. There's a lot of people that aren't even in their vehicles. They've gotten up and walked around to go get food or something. But, let's just hope all these people make better choices. If they're already making good choices, good. Keep making good choices. Don't fucking drink or smoke or eat bad food. And fucking stay inside when you're told to stay inside and get your fucking vaccine. But, I will have to talk to someone about possible side effects. They might even tell me when they give it to me, being like, "Hey, this is what's gonna happen to you when you get the shot." Most people I know that had it though didn't have a reaction. They were good, so that's good. That's good. It's gonna fucking be warm in the afternoon, hopefully. Actually, I guess I could check the weather. I can check the weather. Dox myself even more. Overcast and cold right now. And it's supposed to be like that all day. Great. Possibly all week until later into the week. High chance for rain in the early parts of the week. 59%. Whoa. Crazy, dude. Crazy. Absolutely crazy. Quite cloudy all day. It's supposed to stay cloudy until 8 o'clock. Interesting. Interesting indeed. Last 40 seconds. I hope everyone enjoyed this episode. Not much. There is no gameplay. There's only Moschovs and cars getting a vaccine. Hopefully, fingers crossed. You'll hear from me next week whether or not I actually got it. Today, if I didn't get it today, I'll probably come tomorrow and relax here for a bit and do it again. Hope you enjoyed. Next week we'll probably return to our regularly scheduled Minecraft gameplay. And stay safe, be smart, stop drinking, stop smoking, eat better food if you can. You know, maybe all that food that you don't spend on smokes and weed and alcohol, you can actually put some good food in your belly. But stay safe, stay smart. It's been Michael, guys. See you next week.